hell yeah. Damn, dude. You know he's coming off that breakup, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude. You know he felt this song.
This song right now.
Like... he doesn't even cry singing the lyrics. He just cries sings the lead.
Hell yeah.
The lead guitar.
Yeah, I pulled up the YouTube video, and like one of the only comments I saw is from your mom.
Oh yeah, my mom's from
Byron. Like,
She's all over it, man.
The other
this
one's your
song
brother.
makes me feel so sad for you, or something.
It was a really depressing
Something
comment.
depressing as fuck.
Is my son all right? Who broke my son's heart?
I need to pull that shit up right now.
Live from the studio, I'm Jimmy Selesky.
I'm Eric Glazer.
And tonight we have a podcast that has a lot of years in the making. I am here with my band, Sophomore. John Burkhardt. You've been on the podcast several times, dude.
I've been here a couple times, yes.
Once as a friend of Juice Bruns,
True.
who is now apparently famous.
He's very famous, yes.
I wish
done
KFC
it.
would just randomly share our stuff, dude.
Wouldn't that be nice?
If El Presidente just reposted Tendencies out of nowhere.
It'd be nice if he'd be like, this song fucks.
Like me.
Plays through the roof.
If he
So
just
wait,
makes it the
What
back.
happened?
KFC Barstool just posted Juice's new song.
Oh,
like,
nice.
for no reason.
Crazy.
Other than he liked it.
It's crazy that can happen.
Yeah.
Like, how did it even run across it? It's wild.
That's like the beauty of the whole thing.
Yeah. And you were also here as the drummer for Thunder Club. You were here first as Juice's friend.
Yes.
That was when I kind of like barely knew you.
I am
that well.
Juice's associate.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are Juice, which is a powerful credit now.
Yep.
And now you're here as a drummer for Sophomore. And of course, first time appearance, my friend, my confidant, Joe Niehaus.
Inaugural.
The guitarist, bassist, utility man, backup vocals. And this is actually well timed. This is like the first time we've had a guest on in like, well, how long has it been?
Shit, I think the last guest we had on was Ivan and Jay Beats.
I know. So I like forgot how to have guests.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, should I get all jacked up on Monster 8 tonight?
I knew I couldn't do Monster 8 tonight. That would have fucked me up.
Oh my God.
I just went with the coffee.
You guys want to listen to the song again? Let's do it.
Pause. What were you guys thinking at that moment when making the song? Yeah. But yeah, you guys just released your like debut single as a band.
Yes. It's
Tendencies.
yeah, I consider it the debut single. I think we all consider the debut single.
This is like the first one that you guys all wrote together.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's really the first song ever that I've actually
Ever?
I mean, as far
This is the first song.
Reinventing the wheel here.
yeah, dude. All songs are based in before Tendencies and after Tendencies, dude.
We're at 1AT right now.
But yeah, dude, we put it out. I pitched it to a couple Spotify playlists. I can read you. I haven't gone over our reviews for Spotify yet. I kind of wanted to do that
That'd be hilarious.
Should totally do that.
live on the air.
Yeah.
Because
That'd be
we are unfortunately, well, we've killed it on SoundCloud. I mean, we've absolutely crushed it on SoundCloud. We're at like
Perfect.
almost 16,000 plays and counting.
Holy shit.
Like
Wow.
crushing it. Like 25 comments, people digging it, tons, like 80, 90 reposts.
Those comments are incredible.
Oh yeah,
I like the
The
guy
Rob
who,
Thomas one is
very cool and epic. That's my favorite.
very cool.
Yeah.
Cool and epic.
VARY, dude. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, I go through this like Russian repost guy who like barely speaks English. And so I just hit him up. Like I send him like a full paragraph and then he just replies with a link for his PayPal. I'm like, all right.
perfect.
And then I'd be like, all right, we'll do promo. But it works. It's $30. It's the best $30 you ever spent. We spent almost $400 on Spotify and still nothing so far. We're 0 for 7 in podcast.
So wait, what does that mean?
So we go through this and we go through this website called Playlist Push, which if anybody's listening that makes music, I highly recommend it, even though it's not working great for us at the moment, but we got a long way to go. I highly recommend if you want to spend a lot of money for no results.
It worked for us last time.
Yeah, it worked for
decently.
girls like you, but I looked at it and every single playlist that reposted us was like a Brazilian or like Spanish playlist.
That's fine though, dude.
It's fine, dude.
We can
Get
go
that-
to Latin
get that
America.
money,
Now.
dude.
Yeah.
Get
Yeah, I
the
know.
money.
Portuguese, dude.
We'll go down to
huge in
the
Sevastopol.
we'll go down to the favelas and fucking rip it up.
Yeah, exactly,
Fuck it.
dude. I wouldn't mind a Brazil tour, dude. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got like a Brazilian fans down there.
Yeah, and they loved it, dude. I think they I think they fuck with just like that, like kind of like '90s rock. That was a very like Third Eye Blind esque
Yeah.
song. I'm trying to pull up the reviews right now, see what we're looking at here, but of course my phone is not cooperating. Let's see.
So are all these people Russian too?
No, a couple of them definitely speak English. I would say. Let's see. 1 second. Let's see if I can pull it up. I'm so glad.
But I guess like you go through that website and then it like pushes it to like people who have
Yeah,
like,
so the-
followings
pretty
or
much.
whatever.
Yeah, the way it works is you set your budget, and then it's a website that has a bunch of playlist curators on Spotify that like work for the website or like work with the website, and so they're paid to when Playlist Push sends them a song, they're paid to listen to it, leave a review, and then decide whether or not they're going to include it in their playlist. And so there's no guarantee you're going to get in there, which is good in my opinion, because you don't want to just get onto a playlist that'll accept anybody just for a certain amount of money, because then
yeah.
people are going to not listen to that playlist because anybody who's willing to pay X amount of dollars is on there, and then you're listening to potentially a lot of shitty music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So every playlist curator is kind of, literally curating it. The downside of it is there's no guarantee you're going to get absolutely any plays out of, regardless of how many money you spend. So the first review we got was from Blue Skin. They said, they said, "Hi there, hope you're fine."
Good. We're doing fine.
We're doing fine, Blue Skin. Good production and great chorus. Love the sound and the groove. Nice voice. Unfortunately,
That's a turnaround from the last one.
yeah, I know. People did not like my
big
voice
turnaround.
last. Well, trust me, there's some people that weren't big fans this time around too. We'll get to them. Unfortunately, the song is a little bit quiet and not particularly powerful and energetic for our indie rock playlists. This is why we did not choose your song. Sorry. ... Hope to check out some more music in the future. Good luck with the release.
Quiet. Turn the fucking volume.
Yeah,
up,
dude, turn it up. Jesus. And then the next one we got here, we'll pull up. This is from, 1 second, Solace. Solace says, "Thank you for your submission. I love the sound of your voice." That's another plus
There
for
you
me.
go.
And the songwriting on this
Are you
song.
cherry picking these ones?
Yeah, these are all the vocal compliments. And the songwriting on this song, but the instrumental progression wasn't that great. A more drastic.
All right, John,
Yeah.
Joe,
Nothing to
what do
say.
you have to
That is
say
my
for
face.
yourself?
Solace is an idiot.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? A more drastic and bigger change into the chorus would have been better. Felt a little underwhelming in the end. Yeah, right. Literally, yeah, right.
I felt overwhelmed
I know,
listening
dude.
to that.
I know. I was like, did we do too much for this chorus? It sounded like, I don't know. I mean, how much more do you want? I don't know how much more you want, but whatever. Daniel says, the intro is fine, although it sounds very... The intro is fine, although it sounds very synthetic. That's what a synth is. So
True.
that's a synth
Oh my God.
with an unnatural sound. The voice is nice and calm. The song is quite good, although with a different style than one I look for on my list.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take that. I mean, I guess
Breaking
if it doesn't...
boundaries.
I mean,
Can't cage you.
yeah, I know, dude. It's like you curate an indie pop rock playlist. I feel like that would kind of,
Listen, I curate this alternative playlist, and your shit's a little too out there.
Yeah.
I want my stuff a little bit more mainstream.
yeah. Like, fuck you. No, not fuck you. That guy's cool. You
Fuck
like
that guy.
At least he has a good name,
Yeah, it's a
a
good name.
real name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Daniel. Daniel says
Daniel
Thanks,
Blueskin.
Daniel.
just a different style. But I thanked all these guys. I thanked all of them.
What I'm hearing is that if they like our song, they're cool people, and if they don't like, they're dumb.
Yeah, that's what I'm gathering from this as
Yeah.
well. This has been very eye-opening for me.
There's no other explanation.
Sunset says, "Hi, thanks a lot for sending this." I'm reading it like, "Hi,
got
thanks a
Solace,
lot." Thanks a lot.
Blueface and Sunset.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I hope everything is fine in this period! Exclamation point. That's meta. I really
is.
like this mood, and
Challenging
also
times.
the vocals are very well produced. Not sang, They're just well produced.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean.
Unfortunately, the general sound is a bit classic and retro for me. Good luck.
These excuses are so
I
fucking
know,
Classic
there's-
and retro.
It's like, it's,
It's the same thing.
I know. Whatever, dude.
Would you pull up a thesaurus to write this
Classic and
email?
retro.
You fucking dumb bitch.
Play to feel, the number 2. I like the vibe of this song, and in my opinion, it creates a good atmosphere. However, in my opinion, again, the chorus needs more energy. Otherwise, it doesn't jump out enough. I hope you understand my point of view, smiley face. I don't understand your point. I don't the only thing I don't understand is the chorus thing.
The
Like,
chorus
I really,
is underwhelming.
that's what we're
sounds
gathering
like a
according
consensus.
to Spotify. We got 2 more here. This was my least favorite. This is from Laura.
Out of all the rejections.
Yeah, and mostly because it's a girl. It's a girl, and I got a soft spot for being rejected by women.
The guy sounds ugly who's singing.
I would never bang this guy or even go out with him. Thanks for your submission, though. No, it says, I really enjoyed the instrumentals, but the vocals were just not my favorite.
Here we go again.
Ooh.
No, the vocals were just not my favorite.
No, I know. That's
How
from
the
the last
turntables.
time.
I know, dude. Thanks for your submission. That I don't like that because it sounds like something a sorority girl would say. Like, I don't know, the vocals are just like not my favorite. Like, it just annoys me.
That's a
Like,
pretty
Thanks
good.
for carrying Jimmy on the song, guys.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
yeah. And this is from LOF, which I assume stands for lots of fucking. Hi there. Thanks for sharing your song. The intro is quite intriguing with the emotional guitars and a synthetic keyboard. This guy understands what a synth is.
Thank you.
That's
I
good.
was going for an intriguing.
Yeah,
kind of
intriguing. We aim to intrigue.
I want people to hear that first 5 seconds and be like, what?
What is going on?
I am intrigued.
Is that a real instrument or is that like some kind of synthetic instrument? The intro, okay. And nice, smooth development and instrumental changes. See, this guy disagrees with the other people. The vocals are pleasant and soulful. Sound well balanced and clear.
Oh,
Solid production.
Salad
production. Solid production and mixing too. The song is nice, but wasn't catchy enough to add it to our playlists. Wish you all the best with your promotion. So those are the 7 reviews we've received so far. We've submitted to approximately somewhere around 32 playlists.
Okay.
So we're only about 20-something% of the way through. And I gotta believe somebody's gonna like it.
People are quick to, throw a no out.
Yeah.
we had at least 5 from the last one, right?
Yeah. I mean,
So-
maybe we just maybe like the song hasn't been submitted in Brazil yet. Maybe that's what we need.
Is it also a thing for like the next time you submit, to like avoid these playlists that aren't going to repost you?
I think that's kind of the move.
Yeah.
Beyond trying to advertise more in the Philippines, I think a lot of these playlists might just be more like indie pop oriented.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, where it's like
bigger, thicker synthetic drums and things like that. I think it might be more the production side that people are saying like, we like it, but it's not catchy. We like it, but it's not our thing. I think it's just more of like they want something that sounds a bit more contemporary.
just
and we
people-
reach back a little bit
Yeah,
more.
like people just not understanding like what good music is what I'm
Exactly, that's
gathering.
what
or
I
just
was
like
trying to
not
say. Forget the
understanding that
Philippines.
people like variety too in a playlist. Like,
Yeah.
If I was listening to a playlist and all the shit sounded the same,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't by the same person, I'd be so confused.
Well, the kind of like the ones that get me is I was reading through just to piss myself off before I went to bed last night. I like to just get real jacked up before I go to bed, just get real angry and stare at the ceiling. So I was
Angry
like,
dreams.
let me go back and read the feedback I got from when I submitted Try the first time. And
boy.
where I didn't get into a single playlist. And it just tore me apart, dude. They were just like, these vocals were like, so one guy just said, I don't like it enough. That was it. That was the first review I got back. I don't
Jesus
like it
Christ.
enough. I was like, dude, come on, man. That's all you got to say? And then people were like, the vocals are too, like, typical. Like, the singer was too, like, typical, which kind of annoys me because what annoys me is I feel like there's a lot of singing going on these days that we talked about this on
Yeah, it
previous.
sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, in like people, all, like kind of like there's singing styles. And like the singing style in the 80s had a very like all those 80s bands. Yeah. Well, in the 90s, it was like, everybody
you got
sang.
your
Like,
Eddie Vedder.
yeah, Eddie
Chris Cornell.
Vedder. Yeah, Hootie and the Blowfish, Rob Thomas. Rest in
And
peace.
all the way up to fucking Nickelback and
Yeah,
shit.
it was all like that kind of singing in the 80s.
Look at this graph.
In the 80s, I can't even think like the way Motley Crue sang and Poison and all those guys. They all kind of had some. And then of course in the 2000s, you had the
yeah.
like that Blink 182.
Nasal.
Yeah, the nasally emo sound.
Unctuous.
And right now, it's so difficult to pinpoint what the style is now because we're currently in it. But the word for it we learned last week is diphthongs. You guys familiar with a diphthong?
What?
Do you know what a diphthong is?
No.
Diphthong.
Nah, is this why we have all the cameras out?
Yeah,
Or
dude.
Is this when I take off my pants?
It's a very strange word for what it describes, but it basically means like when you say a word, like instead of love, you hear somebody say, "I love you." Like they like change the.
I
You know what I'm
Think
talking?
of like Billie Eilish.
Yeah. Like
It's like
I can see that
breathy,
in
breathy
certain
singing.
genres, I guess.
people whispering in the microphones.
Yeah.
ASMR shit.
Yeah. Like Billie Eilish style. No shade to Billie Eilish, but just like I thought you liked me, but I don't even care. Like that kind of singing.
yeah, it's like a segment of pop music, I guess. But I part of the reason why I think it's so difficult to pinpoint what the style is in 2021 is because music, like every other medium, has just become so decentralized in terms of like how people consume it.
Yeah.
So you have all these sort of like cloistered music communities with all their own like traditions and styles and stuff. And
Did you say
I think
cloistered?
cloistered,
Cloistered.
Like the
yeah.
Pokemon.
the Pokemon.
Nice.
Oh my god, amateur hour over here, dude.
Go on. My bad.
Yeah, my bad. So yeah, there are different musical traditions in these genres, and we just by virtue of the different genres of music we listen to, we kind of bring different aspects of it to it.
Yeah.
You know,
And it's
Yeah.
very difficult.
Well, like
Oh,
all
yeah.
genres right now are kind of like just taking in from every other genre. Like rap right now is like almost like pop punk shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
emo rap,
country
yeah.
country is like 2010 rap. Right?
Yeah.
It is.
It's just
That's so
fucking
true.
like, but still like people like, oh, I only listen to country, and it's like, okay, well, what do you mean though? Because like
Yeah,
country
yeah.
could either mean like, I don't even fucking
Country's
know.
like talking about your
like
car,
wagon wheel,
your
or fucking-
alcohol, and your woman.
Your woman and
which is rap.
talking about how dope vacation is. Just love
Oh, yeah.
chilling. Love
Oh, yeah.
chilling.
Out on a beach, got my beer, got my woman.
Drove my truck to get here.
That's it.
That's it, baby.
You're
Bring it to
done.
the chorus. Yeah, I was talking about that with my brother last night, just like, because he was saying, like, you know, my brother does hip hop and stuff, and he's not very familiar, I guess, with the indie side of things. But I was saying, like, you know, rap right now, or hip hop, I guess. I don't even know what rap is anymore. I guess hip hop is the genre term. But, like, it is so melded with, like, half the stuff he listens to that he considers hip hop is literally just, like, pop punk. Like, if you listen to, like,
Machine Gun Kelly.
yeah, like, that would still,
using
like,
these melancholic guitar samples and shit like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're just ripping shit off Splice.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
you know, it's like probably some 15-year-old who's like getting high in his basement and playing this sad shit for money.
Yeah.
And then some rando hip hop artist grabs this and like, yeah, this is gonna be a rap song now.
Yeah.
You
I'll
know,
put
the
a lot
guitarist
of-
never thought that,
Yeah.
that would happen. Probably.
I put a lot of blame on Travis Barker too. He's all over that shit. Like
Yeah,
he did
true.
I have his
everything with
samples.
Machine Gun. Yeah, he did the shit with Machine Gun Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's done shit with Trippie Redd. And
yeah, like a bunch of those like SoundCloud
Who-
era people.
Yeah, who are like diving into like the pop punk scene, and with like hip hop diving into like indie music. That was like 2010 with Kid Cudi, and
Yeah.
then like Kanye doing shit with Bon Iver.
Yeah.
You know what term I heard for that type of rap, like Kid Cudi, Wiz Khalifa? I heard Garrett Harvest. He called it backpack rap.
yeah,
Which-
Yeah,
backpacker.
I was like-
Mac Miller,
Yeah.
Wiz.
And
Yeah.
when he said it, I'd never heard anybody say that. Have you guys heard that term before already?
No, but it
It
makes
sums
sense.
it up.
Yeah,
I was like, dude, I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Just like, you know, but I don't know. It just, everything's melding together, which is a good thing because right now, hip hop is the pop. And it's crazy to think that like back in the 80s, if you were going to like a house party, they were probably bumping like fucking like rock music. Like that was the
Like
popular
AC/DC
music,
or
you know,
something.
AC/DC.
Maybe like disco or something. It probably depends a little bit, but
Depends
it wasn't
on like who you're hanging with.
Yeah,
Madonna.
Madonna.
Celine Dion.
Oh, yeah.
The
Prince.
Ranger.
I'm sure people
Oh,
were
yeah.
bumping Prince, you know.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
That'd be a sick party.
that would be
Yeah.
a sick one.
That'd be tight. That'd be tight.
I'd go back to the 80s.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but then the problem is like, if you had a house party, you just had would people just show up with like their own records or like, and just be like, yo, I got
box.
yeah, like I don't know how that like it's not like you could just pass the aux and somebody has access to like a billion different songs. Like you would buy an album for like 2 songs that you liked from a band
Right.
and just play the album, and every fucking 4 songs you had to like switch the records out. Like I don't know how that would work.
Unless you got just somebody
know.
DJing the night, which you
Yeah.
know, I'm sure there's somebody who wouldn't mind.
I mean, they
doing
might have
that.
just had the radio on or some shit, you know?
That's
true.
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Should I call my mom?
I did think it's funny that both of our moms essentially left the same compliment on our post. They both said loved it on the first listen, which was good.
Yeah.
It's a very mom compliment. Your mom didn't say she was depressed though.
That yeah. Thank God
Oh, wait,
Kim was.
I pulled up the comment.
Oh,
It's,
yes.
As I said before, some songs have to grow on you, but this instantly grabbed me. Very professionally done, but song makes me sad. Frowny face.
That's Jimmy's mom for the record.
We didn't mean to hurt you, Irene.
Who hurt you?
I'm so sorry.
She had a new comment 3 days ago. When are you guys having a concert?
I like that comment.
I like that comment.
I'm liking it right now.
Hey, you know what? Somebody needs to ask that question, dude. If it has to be my mom, so be it.
Someone
Dude.
just needs to plant that idea
Yeah,
That's
into
right.
everyone's head.
exactly. Somebody, Matt Brown left a comment saying like, "Love the setup on the lyric video, but you should have left the butt plug on the table," which was
It almost made it in.
it almost
Your
did.
grandparents like that comment, or
Yeah, my grandparents love that
Your
comment.
yeah.
No, but all in all, it's cool to see that, you know, because I really have been saying for years, I've been betting basically my entire life on the idea that this kind of music was going to come back around as society does swing like a pendulum. You go too far in one direction and everything's one type of sound. And then all of a sudden, like the music that people are kind of nostalgic for, like, oh, damn, I miss when music used to sound like that. And all of a sudden people start making that. So like, you know, it's a combination of, I guess, myself personally, I've always been writing that music, although shittily, you know, but I always loved those like 90s bands, like in the really early 2000s. Not as much the emo stuff. The weird thing is, I didn't really like emo pop punk when it was out. Like when I was in middle
Yeah.
school, I was like, this shit's gay, like blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't until I got older and then I was like, wait, this shit's even gayer. I like that shit. You know, and like I found like a newfound respect for it. And it doesn't hurt that like playing it out at bars, you're like, any song that gets people going, you're like, I now love this song.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, that's,
This song makes me cool.
that's so true. No, there's so many songs that we play out that 12-year-old me would start like throwing tomatoes at myself now. But you know, I love them. There's a reason why people like remember and love them so much
yeah.
and get
Yeah.
moving, you know, and now I appreciate that because I have to play them and like feel it, you know,
Yeah.
for people to have fun, you
Yeah.
know, because the audience knows when you're feeling it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way that they'll feel it, right?
You got to vibe with. And that's why I don't really particularly care to do, like there's songs that I know we could do at our shows and stuff that like would probably be good, but like I can't do a song I don't like. It just seems dumb to me. And also the weird thing is, it's like there's not a lot. Like I think we should probably learn like a MGK song potentially. I think that would probably do well, just because it lends itself to a 3-piece band. You know what I'm saying? But like outside of that, like I'm not gonna do like Niall Horan or like some One Direction song or something. Even if people, I don't know, maybe we could do like a Bruno Mars song or something like that. I don't know.
Leave
Bruno
that
Mars
for
makes
Mike
some
Manos.
Yeah, yeah.
He can keep
He
that.
would do it better than us, to be fair.
Mike Manos is definitely much more in tune with the current pop.
Well, he just has such a good feel for like R&B and
Yeah.
like I don't know, just sort of like more jazz derived stuff.
And I think he's just generally cooler. You know what I mean? Like he's a generally cooler guy.
Just has
I don't
little
want
bit
to
more
say that, but you're probably
confidence.
right.
I mean, he is a notable original member of Sophomore. I would say maybe
Honorary.
not honorary. He's like, I mean, when I first, so I guess if it is a band podcast, we should talk about that, you know, like
The highs and lows.
the highs and
It's all-
lows
Behind the music.
behind the music, the mediums. When I first started writing music, I kind of had, I don't know exactly, it's so weird. Like, I dropped out of school because I hated it. Or not hated it, I just didn't know what the hell I was doing. You know what I mean? It's just like, what am I doing? And it was really because I just waited too long to register for classes, and then it became this thing where it's like I couldn't even take the classes I wanted to take. And I remember I was in the Towson University library sitting on a computer trying to register for classes, and I clicked on a class I wanted, and it said the deadline is passed, and I just stared at the screen for like 2 minutes, and then I just got up and walked out. Never walked back in.
You just said, fuck it.
I never said anything to Towson U that I wasn't.
Albert Cook Library.
I just left and just kept getting emails from Towson U like, hey, you coming to class? No, I don't think so. Just walked out and never looked back, dude. I just didn't do college right. Like I would go to the library between classes and like find a couch and just sleep on the couch in the middle of everybody. And it was like, I didn't really know how to treat it. You know, it just felt like it was like, I was just doing it because it was like, oh, I graduated from
You
high
were
school.
supposed to.
Well,
Yeah.
supposed to. Let me stop
Well,
you
and
right
also
there.
like you're commuting, like
Yeah.
you're like 3 blocks from your
was
house.
walking to
Sleeping on
college.
the couch in the library is absolutely how you're supposed to do it. By the
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
That's not where you went wrong.
I nailed the slacker version of college for sure.
Yeah. Did you go to the pavilion to smoke cigarettes between classes?
No, I was actually.
Oh, that's where you fucked up.
I mean, at
That's where you
some
fucked
point
up.
along my development, dude, I was adamantly against smoking. Eric remembers this. Like, I did not smoke anything. I remember I would say like, I'll like do weed with you guys, but only if we do edibles. Like, I'm not gonna smoke weed, and like I would never smoke a cigarette. And then I guess after I dropped out of college and
Depression hit.
depression hit, and my friends were like, dude, I don't know, man. Like Henry was like, yeah, it's gonna give your voice an edge, bro. It's
Light bulb.
smoke cigs. All the greats smoke cigs.
Yeah.
I mean, Freddie Mercury smoked cigs. Kurt Cobain smoked cigs.
Jack White.
Name one good singer that doesn't smoke cigs is really a better question.
Probably most of them.
Most singers don't smoke cigs.
Scott
I'd
Stapp.
say so.
Who the hell's that?
Creed.
He doesn't smoke cigs?
I don't know. He's a
He's
Christian,
like
guy.
Christian. Oh,
Yeah.
so that's probably the only thing he does.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
true. All right.
Yeah.
Then what do I know?
Yeah. If you're
Who's
not
the lead singer
Or
for
CBD.
Nickelback?
It's all
I don't
that
know.
Protestant skill.
CBD.
You have
Big-
to absolve
big
that
CBD
somehow.
Yeah.
Chad
CBD
Kroger
flower head.
definitely smokes
Oh, Chad.
cigs.
Yeah.
Chad Kroger smoked cigs, dude. There's no doubt about that.
Chatty K.
But I remember I was talking to Scott, and I do give Scott a lot of credit for just kind of, you know, Scott was always the guy who was like, oh, I'm going to school in the spring, work in the fall. And he did that for like 3 years. Every year. It was like spring, be like, work in the spring, go to school in the fall. Fall would come around, work in the fall, go to school in the spring. And eventually it was just like, Scott, what are you doing? And you did a little bit better with it. You like, you went to like Villa Julie or
Oh,
Stevenson,
I went to
right?
Stevenson for like a semester, and then I just didn't go back the second one.
You didn't go to didn't you go to like University of Baltimore or something, or
So I went to Stevenson for a semester, dropped out, worked for like a video game company in Hunt Valley for like 2 years. And then I was like, I'll go back to school for this, I guess,
yeah.
at University of Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, a year later, I was like,
We were working at Firaxis
no.
or like or ZeniMax or something.
No, it was called like E for E. I did like it was like outsourced testing. So I did stuff on
gotcha.
like a Lord of the Rings game. I did
PS2
stuff
game?
on Farmville.
Return of the King.
No, it was fuck. It was like a 360 PS3 game. It was like War in the North.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
that's cool.
Me and JT's names are in the credits for that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
got
What's
JT a
up?
I
job
would have
there.
fucking framed that. That's
Oh.
my
Sick,
name
dude.
rolling through the credits.
Yeah. And then worked there for like that shit, some 2K games, some Rockstar games, and then
That's based.
Yeah, I mean it's
it was fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
It was like a weird time in my life because I was like the youngest person in the office.
Yeah.
Everyone else had like college degrees, and I was like on the same level as them.
Yeah.
At one point, I got like a raise, and like, they're trying to take like our group out to like a bar to have drinks and shit. I'm like, guys, I'm like 18.
Yeah.
Like, I can't
And the other guy's
do
like, well, I'm drowning in student debt, making minimum wage, so I can't go to this bar either.
Dude, man.
that. Yeah,
It's-
dude,
we
it was
were
crazy.
We were talking about this actually. Mike Moran brought this up on his podcast the other day, talking about middle school and how I feel like middle school was like the first time in my life, at least, that I can remember that you kind of start to seek out your individuality. Like I remember in elementary school,
Yeah.
there were just like, as far as I can tell, there were really just two types of kids. There were like good kids and bad kids. Like kids that were like goody two shoes, and then kids that were just like would get in trouble and not be able to go to recess. Like those are like the two groups. And it wasn't until I went to middle school where that was like the first kind of like where you see cliques start to, like there were the preppy
Well,
kids
elementary
and the-
school, you just like eat with your class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In middle school is where they like start having you eat with your whole grade or like in sections.
Yeah.
And then
Welcome to
that's
the
where
jungle.
like the cliques fucking spring up, you know.
And it's weird. Like it's hard. I don't remember. Like if I had to go to some situation like that right now and have to decide who I was sitting with at lunch, I feel like I don't know how I would decide.
I'll just eat by myself.
Yeah, like I
at
don't know
this
how I would
point.
do it. Like
I don't.
it's like one day you just like sit somewhere and just hope they don't get mad at you for sitting there, and then
You're right.
you just keep
Just-
coming back and
Yeah,
you're like,
hey,
I
is
hope-
this seat taken?
Fucking
No,
watch
complete
YouTube for
fucking
30 minutes.
stranger. I don't want you sitting with me and my kid.
you're in elementary school, dude. But it really was like the first time where you start to kind of I mean, for me especially, it was like I went to Hampton Elementary, which is in Lutherville. Yeah, I mean, hey, it's a school. The Dolphins, go Dolphins, you know?
Hey, wait, no, we were the Dolphins. Timonium was the Dolphins.
Were you?
And you know how I know we were the Dolphins? Because we were Tim the Dolphin. Tim, as in Timonium,
Oh.
was our mascot.
Timonium.
What was
yeah.
your mascot's name? Harold? Henry?
Hamp.
Horatio?
Hampton Hornets?
Horatio.
Horatio the Hornet. No, we were. Dude, I'm telling you, we were were we really that lazy as like a general region that we could only think of two animals? We were like, well, Hampton's like, dude, there's a school 3 blocks down the road
Did you
called
guys
the Dolphin.
have like a swim team or something? Or why a dolphin?
I think we might have had a swim team. I don't know, dude. I wasn't on it. I wasn't a swimmer, dude. I was
He was born to wrestle.
dude. I was a jock in 3rd grade, bro. I was fucking
To be
cat-
fair,
I was
Dolphins
bulking
beat the
up.
shit out of sharks.
That is
So-
true, dude. And the
True.
Stonely was the Stonely Sharks, right?
That's
they were the
right.
swim team.
Ooh,
Stonely
maybe
Sharks.
well, the
that's
Stonely,
why.
it's a whole thing. The Stonely
them up.
Pool is the Stonely Sharks. But then the Stonely Elementary School is
Dolphins.
the Stonely Stallions.
Oh,
But what if
okay.
there's so many dolphins because they ride in a pod
Oh,
and they need to keep the
shit.
shark in check?
Oh, true. That's true. Yeah, we had one shark in the area, and all the other schools were like, "Well, we got to name our school the Dolphins
Yeah.
because we can't just expect one dolphin. We need Timonium. We need Hampton. We need all these different
We are
schools."
mammals.
The Stonely Sharks fucked shit up.
They really. I mean, dude.
I
Dominate.
mean, they're like the only swim team though.
Don't tell me
That's
that.
true.
Yeah,
like
who are they
the-
swimming at?
I'm never
The
gonna ball
Wiltondale
inch to
fucking
Stonely.
flipper board.
Wiltondale Whales.
The Wiltondale Whales. I don't know.
Yeah, dude. I feel like swimming would have been a cool thing to be in for social things, but it was weird. Like going to Hampton
I'd
and
be
then,
so terrified of getting like a random boner.
oh yeah, dude. Talk about when I first started wrestling in high school. I was convinced I was gonna get like an athletic cup, not because I thought I was gonna get a boner, but just because I hadn't hit puberty yet, and I was like, "Are you telling me I wear this fucking singlet and everybody's gonna see my little ass dick while I lose?"
Yes.
Nothing wrong. First of all, your dick is never smaller than when you're getting your ass beat. I don't know. I wish they could like pause play while you're just. And your,
Like a mole
That
call.
was shrinkage.
Evolution at work.
your dick just goes into your body. It's like, I don't know this guy. I'm fucking out of here. But yeah, it was like when I went to Dumbarton, that's in Towson, and I was one of like maybe 6 kids from my elementary school that went to Dumbarton because pretty much everyone went to Ridgely. And so like I really did kind of have to start over. I remember my first friend was Brian Stockstill. I used to call him Livestock because I was I was like, yo, cause you're live, bro. That was like a thing people said back in 2003, I guess. You're fucking, that's live, you know. This is live.
Oh, 9/11 just happened. That shit was live.
Huge fucking yeah.
Let's have a bomb threat every other week. You remember that shit?
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Middle
loved them.
school, we had bomb threats. So
Yeah,
fucking
middle
hard.
school and high school.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they just eventually gave up on them. I'm pretty sure at a certain point they were just
Like-
getting them and they were just like,
Yeah,
ignore,
they like
take our
stopped
chances.
taking them seriously.
I can confirm that being, 5 years after you guys, people would just write that shit on the bathroom. They would say like bomb, May 13th, and then people.
Before Miss K's math quiz.
Everyone's like, okay,
Just
do it, dude. Nobody fucking.
Not
Before
to
the
narrow
gym
this
test
down.
where we have to run a mile.
Third period. But I'm not in that class.
Also,
I'm
I need
actually a
flush.
terrorist. Miss K is pretty hot, by the way. For the record.
That was the original 4chan, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh yeah, the stall wall, baby.
Yeah.
Stall wall.
Call XYZ for yeah. But the reason I bring up middle school is because I almost feel like the time after high school is basically the middle school of adulthood. Like when you graduate high school, it's like for me it was a very middle school-esque feeling where it's like, okay, now I'm no longer like I remember it was a very big identity crisis, and those things it was literally the best I can compare it to is like a breakup. Like you spend so long being this one thing, like I'm fucking Towson wrestler, blah blah blah, and then you realize that you're like, okay, I'm not wrestling in college. I basically put my entire identity into that. Like I did music in high school, I did plays and shit like that, but I almost resented music because my parents were always, my dad especially was always, making me sing at every fucking family party and make me do all this
man.
shit. Taking me, I remember being at job sites. He would take me painting with him, painting this gym in Havre de Grace. And the gym staff was there. He was like, hey, Jim. He had me stand up on one of those things, those boxes that people jump on. You know what I'm talking about? Like the jumping boxes. And sing a song for him. So I used to fucking hate it, dude. He would always make me do that. And so when I was in high school, I used to resent it and be like, I'm never gonna be a musician. He'd always be like, oh, you're gonna be a musician. And he just would, and I guess because he knew, And so I kind of fought against it. And then after high school, after everything was taken away from me, I was like, well, what do I do now? And then it was just kind of a decision where it's I kind of found a way to be a musician that wasn't what they, I kind of had to find my own identity in it. And I guess at the time when you're trying to figure out what your sound is and stuff like that, the only things I could
What's
think.
Bruno Mars doing right now?
Exactly. Dude, I remember my two biggest inspirations at the time, or not inspirations, but role models for how to be a musician was Jason Mraz, Lupe Fiasco, 50 Cent, and Jason Mraz. And Jason Mraz and Bruno Mars are the big three. And I remember I was there was a certain point when I was showing up to gigs in sweater vests. I never went the fedora route. I will say I never went the fedora route.
Yeah, you did a show at Sidebar in a sweater vest.
I did. I mean, at that time, I had no idea.
That sidebar?
Dude.
What a strange place to show up in a fucking sweater vest.
I remember
With
I was
Mr. Beckman as the chaperone.
I was working at Seasons Pizza, and Will Beckman was working there as well. And Will and I would play gigs with David Morris, and we would drive down. That was not Sophomore. That was Jimmy and the Seleskis.
So let's go.
And we would drive down to College Park and split $150 three ways. One time the guy said we showed up late, so he only gave us $100, and then I got towed, so I actually made negative $250 on that gig.
Hell yeah.
But it was fun because you're playing at Looney's in College Park and just all kinds of sorority girls running around. And of course, I was
Another
19.
When it's a legit stage.
Yeah, it was an awesome gig. I was like, dude, I would have done this, even though I didn't have any luck with any of these girls ever. And even if I did at that time, it wouldn't have meant anything anyway. But going down there and just trying to figure out. I remember we were working at Seasons Pizza, and this guy who was Daquan Green's cousin showed up, and he was like, oh, I book shows. And then Matt from Seasons was like, oh, yeah, he's a really good singer. And he was like, okay, you want to be on the show at Sidebar? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, you got to sell 7 tickets, and then you can keep the rest for yourself. They're $10 a pop. And so I was like, okay, Will, you want to play this show? And I didn't bother selling tickets. I was like, dude, I'm not selling tickets. I just gave him $70. I was like, and then I told my friends to come out, and then whoever wanted to come out, I just paid for them too. I only brought 5 people. I was just like, I just want to play, and I didn't want to make people pay to see me play, especially if it just felt weird to me at the time. Especially like we did all cover. I think we did like one original song. And I show up, I'm in like khakis and a sweater vest and dress shoes. Will Beckman is in a similar outfit.
Classy.
And we show up, and I had no idea. I mean, I was 19. I had never been, I remember when I was at that age, like going to downtown Baltimore was a thing. Like when we were, like now going to Fells is like standard. It's like I go to Fells, or I go to or Canton, not really Fed Hill. But like back in the day, like if you and your friends were like, yo, you guys want to go downtown? It was like, dude, that's a night. Like, only one of us drives and they suck at driving.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's a whole thing. And so that was my first experience, like going downtown.
And then to go to like a straight up just punk bar out of like a movie.
Oh my God, dude. I showed up and this guy had like a chain hanging from his ear to like his left knee. I was like, Jesus Christ. And they're all standing outside and they're like smoking cigs. And I'm like, he's like, what kind of music do you guys play? And I was like, he was like, oh, I play like grunge crabcore. So it was like some crazy fucking genre. It was like fucking crazy genre. There was like more words in that genre. And then he asked me, and literally our opening song was going to be a cover of Teenage Dream by Katy Perry.
Incredible.
That was our opening song. And I didn't call the audible on that. I went up like the third. This guy goes up on stage with like a full band and just fucking shreds, fucking throwing beer at the audience. And then next up is me and Will. Just Will playing the bass and me playing acoustic guitar. And we open up with Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. Fucking
Beautiful.
It was literally unreal. I cannot believe.
It's the things you see at local gigs like that. It's just like you have every fucking spectrum of the rainbow there.
But the problem is, and that's the issue that I have with those type of bookers, because
Where it's just random. They're just
Yeah.
like, just put whoever on stage. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It's
Just
fucking whatever.
buy these tickets.
Yeah.
they're
If
not-
I
you
make my money back.
you pay me the $70, we're good to go.
yeah, they're not curating a show. They're not worried about how the audience feels about it. And it's like,
No.
people show up. It's like, who wanted to hear that? And then like, Will and I had a couple originals that were kind of like bluesy. People did say like, oh, I like the originals, but like, I think at that age I was still like so young that people almost kind of just like, they gave me a pass. Like I couldn't do that now. Like if I showed up to Sidebar now and pulled that shit, people would be like, dude, get the fuck off the stage. But I think they saw that I was like basically a fucking kid.
We should do Teenage Dream.
Dude,
That'd be a
fucking
good song
great.
to do.
Dude, I did a cover on that. I took it down since. It's on private. It's still up, but it got like a couple thousand views on YouTube. Like people fucked with it. Like it was a cool. Dude, I fucking like that album. Like that album was
album's
good.
great.
OG Katy Perry, yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
Katy
good.
Perry, California Girls, and Teenage Dream. The
Was that
album
like 2012?
2011,
2010,
2010, something like that. I mean, Teenage Dream is one of the best pop songs. One of the best pop songs I think from that era for
I think
sure.
pre that. I think like 2008 or 9 maybe.
2008 was because I remember it was-
2008.
Wasn't that like I Kissed a
Black
Girl?
Eyed
And
Peas.
you're cold, yes, and you're no.
I just
Up
remember.
and
I
you're
think
down.
it might have been senior year. The fucking Pyramid song came out, where it's like fucking Juicy J and her or whatever.
That was
Dark Horse. Or
that
no?
was
Is there a
later
different
on.
one?
That was
was
post.
definitely later.
That was
No,
like
wait.
2014.
Wait,
think
Teenage
there's a
Dream was the
different one,
album with that song. What was the big song where the video was her with like the
California Girls.
yeah.
California
Cupcake
Girls.
Tits.
Oh my,
With
yeah,
the-
the
yeah,
cupcakes
yeah, yeah.
whipped
Yeah, yeah.
cream with cherries. I was like,
Yeah.
dude, that video blew my fucking mind. I love Katy Perry back in the day. Like, I only get like one celebrity crush every so often, like every 10 years, I would say. And Katy Perry was definitely my celeb crush from like 2011 until now. And I think now mine is Dua Lipa. Suddenly, I don't know
Really?
why.
You should tell her.
I don't even know what she looks like.
She's
Dua Lipa or Katy Perry?
Dua Perry.
Dua Lipa is she's pretty hot. She's definitely pretty hot. I didn't like her at all because they always play her music in the gym, and I was like, "Fuck this."
I thought you were gonna be like, my favorite as of 18 days ago is Bad Baby.
But then I was actually sitting on my couch mid like kind of like breakup conversation with the girl I was talking to like a couple months ago, and I had like background music on to like lighten the mood a little bit. Nobody
move.
wants to break
Good
up in
move.
complete
Good
silence.
move. Yes.
There's a lot of awkward pauses during breakup conversations where you're just sitting there like, oh,
was the rebound.
yeah. Dude, I remember literally looking at the TV and being like, damn, she's pretty hot. Already aiming for the fucking moon, dude.
On to the next one.
But yeah, those that was my first introduction to a show like that. And then it is kind of like a gradual process of like I think the biggest part of being or making music, and some people come to this sooner than others, obviously, but it's finding your sound and trying to figure out exactly what you're doing. You start off, basically everybody's a cover artist when they start off. Which is why, I really have I place a lot of value in the cover gigs we play, because I was adamantly against doing them. Like I was working as a server for like 6 years, and it wasn't until I was fired from.
Yeah, it used to be on like some never doing a fucking cover gig. Like
Yeah.
that's below me.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, there's so many artists that have that kind of mentality. Even like artists and friends that I respect a lot, they just like can't see themselves doing it. And I definitely understand that because like
I understand that for like a rapper or someone, because you can't really do a cover gig as a rapper.
Yeah.
But as like a band, like you're
Yeah.
versatile.
I mean, like, as a musician, I have pretty much, like, I've always been writing. I don't often learn songs. Like, since I was 13, 14, I was just, like, playing with my looper in my basement for, like, hours and hours and hours. It just wasn't really my thing to, like, learn a bunch of songs. And that's kind of, like, how I did things.
Yeah.
When you play songs like that, like I said before, there's just something about, like, simple things you internalize about like the form and structure of a song,
Yeah,
what
you learn
makes
a
a
lot.
good melody, what makes a good bass line,
You're
what
talking
makes
about
a,
like learning songs and covering them.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like
in
how to
comparison.
arrange parts.
Yeah, things
Especially
like
in
that.
the 3-piece part, where we'll even like, I mean, the way we do our gigs, we're a 3-piece band. So like when we play a song, it's not really the way the song gets played. So in a way, like our covers are kind of like original versions of those songs. We have to figure out like, okay, well, you got to do a little bit more something on the bass here because we don't have a fucking keyboard here. Or like I got to do something different on guitar because if I just play the lead, it's going to sound empty.
Right. And that happens like whether you want it to or not, just by virtue of you playing it.
And it just makes you a better musician. Also, bless you. It also brings you into contact with so many different opportunities. It was basically I was forced into it, where like I was fired from my third serving job in a row, and then it was like I was applying.
Just got the transfer in.
I know. And like I was thinking like, oh, and I remember my first move was just to go back online and apply for another serving job. And at this point, I was like 24, 25. And I just remember like having that realization, like, oh, I don't have to be a server. And that was at the same point when Mike Manos hit me up, because I'd been playing with him for a while at that point, like a year or two. And
Party Boy Enterprise. What was this shit called?
Advanced Party Solutions.
Hell yeah.
Advanced Party Solutions. and I just started getting gigs with that and realizing that you could I was making more money playing gigs like that. And then it was like my dad would say like, look,
And you're having more fun.
you're having more fun.
Way
And
more
it's like, he's like, look, Jim, you could work 40 hours a week serving tables and then try to devote the time that you have to yourself to make music. Or you can work 40 hours a week playing music. And you're getting better in the meantime. Yeah, you're playing other people's songs, but like, what are you doing when you're serving tables?
Yeah, it's still way more fun.
Like,
Even if
You're not playing music.
You're not playing music.
snobbiest fucking music snob will still have a better time doing that than fucking making sure table 2 has their melted cheese or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I still have a soft spot. I do miss bartending a little bit.
I mean, there's the social aspect.
Yeah.
Like, you do, like, literally meet more people, but it's it's not worth the pain it gave me to my back and my fucking feet. It's just, like, soul-crushing work, and I hated it. Like, I only had to be fired once from a serving job before I was like, never again. I'm never doing this shit.
You didn't get
ever.
fired from Michael's, though, right?
I didn't get fired from Michael's. No, I quit from Michael's, but I got fired from my job after that. My first serving gig.
Yeah. I remember when I met you. Well, I was going to get... When you were
old
working...
Mike. Did you guys meet?
Yeah.
Michael's, dude.
Ooh.
Well, I knew of John from high school, and John had
A
the
very
reputation.
mysterious figure.
Yeah, mysterious figure.
Yeah, real mysterious in high school.
Like we had ran across each other from time to time. Like
Yeah.
because you were kind of like in the circle a little bit because you hung out with Chaz and Chaz hung out with Michael, and I was
Yeah.
always at Michael Beckman's house. So like I knew of you, and you had you went out to LA for drums and shit, and I was like, John's the best drummer from Towson, blah blah blah. And I was like, yeah, whatever,
whatever.
dude. I'm the best drummer from Towson, bro.
Yeah.
And it's funny because to this day, I think it's hilarious that you don't remember when I was playing music with Will, and I hit you up randomly, and I was like trying to get you to like drum, like be in our band. I remember that, and I hit you up, and this would have been probably 2014 or 15, and we went to your parents' basement. I think.
Wait, this would have been after I came back from LA.
Yes.
Oh my god.
This is like 2014 or 2015. I hit you up. And we
Jet lagged for what, like a year or two?
apparently, yeah.
At 3 hours, gotcha, dude. And I went to me and Will and I went to your basement, and we played like 2 or 3 songs that I'd written that fucking sucked. I remember one of them was Mad, which actually wound up being a decent song. But we were jamming for like 2 hours, 2 full hours, in your basement. I brought beers. I remember I was sitting on your couch, Will was sitting next to me, you were sitting on the drum kit, and then you just completely blacked that out of your memory. And then
we've talked about this before, and I haven't had a response for it before.
He was meeting with a lot of bands at the time.
I had
You
plenty
might
of
have gotten
meetings.
lost in the paperwork.
yeah.
I was drowning in paperwork.
Yeah.
People trying to sign me and there, and I just,
I just remember always being like kind of in the background, low key, just being like, this guy is gonna like
he's gonna forget.
He's
He's
gonna
an
forget.
idiot.
He's going to
This
forget,
guy-
and then next time he's going to say yes.
This guy
Exactly.
is clearly a moron.
So I went the most roundabout way possible. We started a podcast, and I was like, John,
Come on, Juice? Would you like to be his associate for a day?
Scheme.
why don't you come on the podcast with Juice? And then I just fucking ransack John with questions. Juice is like, well, I was like, anyway, John, do you remember when you and I jammed?
Dude, my memory is so fucked.
Apparently.
I,
It was a big moment for me, dude. Huge.
I'll tell you what, I can imagine it. Actually,
That's good.
I don't even know if I can, because at that point, I don't know if
Can't
my
imagine
parents.
playing with you back then.
I don't know if my parents would have remodeled the basement by then.
I don't know if
basement
they
was
would've let
remodeled.
you
It
hang out with
was?
It was
Jimmy.
remodeled.
So there was a bathroom down there.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Big
I
time.
don't even.
I took a piss in
Yeah,
your
Jimmy
bathroom.
definitely
bro.
pissed in there.
I took a
Yeah.
piss in your bathroom, bro.
It's a great bathroom.
It was a good bathroom.
It's a great bathroom.
I walked in your bathroom. I was like, unforgettable. Never forgetting this day.
Fuck this shit. I'm leaving the toilet seat then.
And I'm trying to figure out exactly how it was that we came to play our first gig together. Because at that point,
What was it? Was it the point?
it might have been the point. And it was just kind of one of those things where we had people that would drum for us, or we needed a trio, and like the guy who was drumming, Sam,
Yeah.
he moved to like DC, and it just became more and more difficult, and it just became like he kind of went his own direction. He's like an engineer, works in DC. I think he lives in Philly now. Still like hits me up all the time. He liked the new song, and but I got you to fill in, and I don't think you were in the picture yet at that point, were you, Joe?
I don't think so.
I think we played with Will.
Yes, it was me, you,
We
and
definitely
Will.
played with Will. I remember that.
And yes, of course you remember that, dude. It was the basement reunion, dude. and then I guess it must have been a couple. So I think you and I were just playing random. I think we did a gig at the Horse together or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just very much like a hired gun type of thing. Like I would get these gigs and I'd be like, "Yo, can you drum for me?" And then I was playing this gig at Michael's, actually with Sam, the old drummer.
Yeah.
And you were a lowly bus boy.
The lowliest.
A lowly bus boy
I
walking
was
around.
so green.
And we were playing there, and I remember it was a cool night because these guys from New York paid me an extra $100 to sit at their table and play them for like another 30 minutes. Like
They do
just
by the fire table.
Yeah.
Somehow I remember that.
And I was like, this is
He
fun.
remembers, John.
Yeah. Joe remembers.
Good for him. He's got a good brain. My brain, not so good.
And I remember I was talking to, Joe comes up to me, we're talking for a bit. And then, or did you walk? I can't remember how this went
I
down.
did. I walked up to you. I started the conversation.
Yeah.
And I know this because at that time, literally every act that came in, I was like, hey, nice, da-da-da. I liked your song. I like your guitar. Let me see your pedal board, something like that. So you weren't special, Jimmy.
Okay, cool.
Or so I thought.
I didn't even have a pedal board.
We ended up talking for like, I was like blowing off work at that point because I was talking to you guys for like 2 hours or something.
Yeah,
at
it
the
was a
end of the
while,
night,
yeah.
it's just like it was a relatively slow Saturday, and we just kind of kept going, and then like that was it for like 6 months, like everybody else, and then like out of the blue, I just got a text message from you about like playing a fucking.
You left out
show
the
in
whole part.
Columbia.
You left out the whole part where you walked up to me and said with your number on something, and you said, "I need you to make me a rock star." Do you remember that?
No, that's so
That
funny.
happened.
That's so funny. That
Why does nobody
That's
remember
perfect.
these things, dude? Why does nobody remember these things? You walked up to me with your phone number and said, "I need you to make me a rock star."
Well, that would have
We're halfway
explained how
there.
you texted me.
So I'm like, all right, whatever, dude. Table 6 is dirty, bro. You got a long way to go, pal, before you get gigs at Michael's.
Dude, I could pick up 10 glasses at once at that point in my life. So cool it with these comments.
So I remember I get this gig. Mike Manos, he's very, very behind the scenes guy in how this all comes together. He hits me up. He gets a gig from Starley, right? The agency that we're both linked up with. And Mike, apparently not a big fan of calendars. Doesn't like calendars, hates them, doesn't even believe in them, Every year is a leap year for Mike Manos. Every leap month, leap week. And he hits me up and he's like, yo, you want to play this gig down in, it was at the Jetty on the Eastern Shore.
That dock
Ken
bar,
Island.
baby.
Huh?
Ken Island.
Ken
Yes,
Island.
sir.
Yeah.
So, and it was like at 5 p.m. So it was basically like drive down there during rush hour, which is already an hour drive without rush hour. I remember I was like, I hit you up out of the blue and I was like, dude, you want to play this duo with me? Because nobody else was getting back to me. And you were like, yes. And then I was like, all right, meet me at the studio at this time. And then I remember waking up 10 minutes after that time to a text being like, yo, you here? And I was like, fuck. and I drove to the studio, picked you up. We drove all the way down to the Jetty and got there. And there was another band set up and playing. Another band already playing. And this is the first time I brought you out to a gig. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, this guy thinks, like, I'm like, fake. This guy thinks I'm a fake musician. Like, I just created this whole thing. I was like, yeah, I got a gig.
scam
To be
artist.
fair, I was a fake musician at the time, so like I wasn't gonna judge.
You were like, dude, this is the closest I've ever been to a
How
gig.
am I gonna make Joe a rock star if I can't even fucking wake up on time?
So I get down to the Jetty, and I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. And I remember we drove back, got in some very long political discussion.
Yeah, I believe we were talking about the 2008 financial crisis.
Yes, we
on the
were.
drive home.
Yes, we
That
were.
I do remember.
Yep, that's how it all begins. dude.
Everything
The Big
loops
Short.
back.
Yeah, dude.
To
I
the
was
Big
like,
Short.
Joe, this band is too big to fail. And so we get back, and you show me some keyboard riff that you had played, and it went doo 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 doo, doo 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 doo, doo 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 doo, doo 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 doo. And I remember I went back, and I was still living with my ex at the time, and I wrote the lyrics to that, and it was, I tend to make a lot of sense without talking to myself.
Holy shit.
Yes. And I wrote those lyrics to that all the way up to the pre-chorus. And then that was what I had, the first verse and the pre-chorus to that keyboard line. And then
We worked on that track for like for like a couple hours
Yeah, I
that
remember
day. We
hearing
ended up
that
chilling
song
for a
like
while.
a year or so ago.
Yeah. I actually
We were like writing. We were cooking that day.
yeah, before the end of the podcast, I kind of think it would be nice to show the original version of that song. It sounds
Do it.
If
completely
you can find it, that'd
Sounds
be nuts.
completely
Yeah.
different. We did that a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Yeah. It was completely different, but it was, and I guess at that point I got you to play with me at the point, and then I got you to play with me at the point, and then it just like after that it just became like every month at the point it was us, and we were probably doing that for like
A year, at least
Yeah,
a
up
year.
until
year.
the pandemic.
Bare minimum 6 months. Like
before. Well, I'm talking about
No,
before we
dude,
even
like at
decided.
least a year.
Before
You
we
guys did it for a
when did we
while.
start having band practice? Because that
It
would
must have been like
the-
5 months in.
at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
It was easily like 5 months in. We were playing
Mm-hmm.
every month at the point, or like some other random gig, maybe like a High Tops gig or something like that.
Right.
And then it just gradually was just like, so what are we?
So you guys like want to get together on Tuesday?
Yeah. I think eventually you guys were like, man, we should probably practice before we
Dude, that
do these
yes,
gigs.
100%. That is literally
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
Yeah,
We're
that
like,
was the genesis.
Like, yeah, 5 or 6 of these in. Let's maybe plan the next one.
yeah.
Because we could do it, but we knew we were better than what we
Yeah.
were putting out. at
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. I thought you were going to say we knew we were better than the other bands at the point, which is true.
Except for maybe Monk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are doing better just showing up than other people.
We fucking bring the people.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
it's kind
people
of
have a
worked.
party.
It was like it
Yeah.
made sense. It like when we were playing those gigs, I was like this, like it always felt like before, like I'd be playing with people and it was like, oh, I'm playing with this guy and this guy, or like this guy and that guy, and then when we were playing, I was like this is
is
the
it,
trio.
baby.
This is the
Yeah.
trio, dude.
Yeah.
It just added up, and yeah, but I mean, I remember pitching because I had the name Sophomore in my mind for a long time. Like, you ever seen The Dirt? Have you watched The Dirt yet, Joe? Have you seen The Dirt? You've
It's a
seen The Dirt.
fucking great movie.
Great fucking movie. If you haven't watched The Dirt on Netflix, dude, you gotta watch it. It's about Motley Crue.
Okay,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
You told me about this.
It's
movie
really good.
Dude, you
maybe
gotta
like a
watch
million
it.
times. Yeah, I should.
It gets me so I will literally watch it like once every 2 months and just get reinvigorated to be in a band. Like, yes, yes. Rehearsal on Tuesday.
You're like a high schooler watching like Fight Club,
Oh yeah.
fucking stoked.
But there's a scene in that movie where Mick Mars, who's like the old guy in the band, who's like kind of like a freaky guy, and they're all sitting there coming up with a name for the band, and like Tommy Lee comes up with a stupid one, and then Mick Mars is like, I've been waiting for this for a long time, and then he lifts up a thing, and he's like, and then they're like, and that was what I felt like. I was like, because I got the idea, when I was first releasing music under Jimmy Selesky, I came out with the Sophomores EP, which I sent you guys
2013,
drunkenly
baby.
one night.
2013.
Ooh.
Not to listen to, but just to acknowledge that it existed.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
You sent them the link and said, "How do I delete this?"
Oh no.
Can I burn my phone?
Oh, I listened to it.
It's a lot. Most of those songs are embarrassing.
You got a rare Liz Beckman feature. On
Yeah,
that.
Liz Beckman played keys on track 4, dude.
Hell yeah.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
Ivories.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
She is great. She's a piano teacher. She plays at the Rusty Scupper downtown. I don't know if she still does, but
Oh,
she
damn.
was when we were playing. She was like the house pianist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Pianist.
music teacher.
Yeah. And I got that idea just because, dropped out of college after freshman year. And then the running joke, my Scott version of that was always people would be like, when I was working at Seasons, people would be like, oh, are you going to school at Towson? I was like, no, I'm dropping out. And then every single person would give you the same, like, oh, you got to go to school. You got to do this. You got to blah, blah, blah. You're never going to, music is really hard to make it in music. You got to go back to school and get that degree. That degree is blah, blah, blah. And so I got so tired of that conversation, I would just start telling people I'm a sophomore. And then, yeah, I would just tell people, like, I'm a sophomore. Just to bypass the conversation of people being like, oh, you got to do this. You got to do this.
Yeah.
And then my grandfather was sitting talking to me about just randomly. He'll always very much like My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where he'll just randomly go off into like where a word comes from. And for whatever reason, he brought up the term sophomore, and he was like, "Oh, sophomore, that comes from the Greek sophos, Sophia meaning wise, and moros like moron." Meaning fool. And I was like, oh, sophomore means wise fool. I like that. That's cool. So I made the Sophomores EP, and then also because releasing music under a name, Jimmy Selesky, was just kind of like, I don't know.
You would need a pseudonym
Yeah.
because they would be like, oh, he's Greek. And if they didn't say, oh, he's Greek, they'd be like, oh, he's Jewish.
Exactly, dude. Exactly, dude.
Jimmy Soul Sky.
Soul Sky. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I remember there was
You
a
need to be
ton of stuff
groovy.
I can say. It's just like you gotta really be a cool ass dude to pull off a solo act. I don't know.
do.
You really gotta be
You do.
cool.
It's just like there's something about a phonetic quality to a name,
Yeah.
You can't be like, like a Russian Havalabadaba
Yeah.
Zov.
You
and then
could.
have a solo artist that
Yeah.
like in the United States, it needs to be
Double
like,
of a double of.
There
it
was
needs to be
a
like Jack Slide or something.
there was literally a guy in the 70s who had a couple hits named Engelbert Humperdinck. And that was his real name. Engelbert
Everything I said
Humperdinck.
was wrong.
I mean, that is as
Damn.
ridiculous of a name as you can imagine.
That's pushing the envelope.
But yeah, you gotta. That's like the other end of the spectrum. Like you
Yeah.
got your John Mayer, Jason Mraz,
Yeah.
Jack Johnson,
Those
Yeah.
roll
and
off
then
the
you got fucking Humperdinkle, whatever the fuck it is.
Humpty
fucking
Dumpty. dude.
Dinkelberg over
Humpty
here.
Dumpty.
But Jimmy Selesky it didn't sound
It's right
so
on the line.
stupid that it was stupid, and it didn't sound so. It just was like a name. It's like it's good as a name, you know.
Solid name.
Hi, my name's
Strong
Jimmy
name.
Selesky.
Speak for yourself, buddy.
But listen to my music. It's not, I don't know. It's just like it just sounds stupid to me. You put a
Yeah.
sticker up.
It's definitely like grocery store worker name.
Yeah.
It's like you see it on a name tag and you're like, all right.
Hi, Jimmy. There's a spill on aisle 3. Can you get the mop?
Jimmy
I think I
Selesky.
know how to pronounce that.
Sophomore to aisle 7. So
It is an intercom name.
So it was back in those days, and that was when I met up with Mike. I actually met up with Mike in the very similar manner that you met me. I saw Mike playing at Green Turtle, and I noticed two things. I noticed that he was good looking, which in a very
Strong jawline.
strong jawline, and in a very non-homosexual but competitive way, I said, this guy plays music and he's good looking, and also he's good. And I was like, if you can't beat him, join him. So, so I went up to him, and his mic was clipping, and I said, hey, dude, you sound good. But I turned the gain knob down on your microphone a little bit because you're clipping a little bit. And he was like, okay, dude. And
He ate a
Too much
giant
sense.
slice of pizza, kick flipped over to the mixer.
It wasn't Mike Manos. It was Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
righteous advice, dude.
That's a good. I mean, I hate to say it, we keep giving this man his flowers, but it's a great name for music, Mike Manos.
It is.
That's what I'm
It
talking
It really
about.
fucking
is.
Now it just
amazing.
rolls off the
It really
tongue.
is.
It's really
I'm,
good.
I'm done talking about Mike Manos. He's gotten too much gas tonight.
I'm gassing him up, too. Well, I'm about to fucking ruin his whole career at the end of
There
this
we
podcast.
go.
Doesn't
That
matter.
is what I want.
We're coming
we
for him
go.
now.
We're
The
going
roast of
back
Mike
to the-
Manos. That's how
The
we
Mike Manos, the sophomore years of Mike Manos.
Mike Minus.
Mike. Nice, dude. Nice. Now we gotta stop
Tell
the
him I
fucking
said that.
podcast.
This is on camera. This is on camera.
So I left my number in his tip jar too, and I said, "Hey, dude, I'm trying to
Jimmy
start."
went up to Mike and said, "Make me a rock star."
I said,
I had the courage to look Jimmy in the eye when I said that.
I was like a smitten girl. I was like writing my number on a napkin and like left it and made like eye contact so he knew it was me.
You gave him a handshake.
A little tip of the hat there.
Mr. Manos, it's so great to meet you.
And so I left the thing in his tip jar. I was like, "Hey, man, I'm trying to start a band, and you're really dope, and I feel like we
Your
should."
secret admirer.
And he actually texted me back, and he came to my parents' basement with me and Sam, and that's where we started writing some of our original stuff. And then I think it was kind of a thing where I think it was really he's one of my closest friends, honestly. Definitely my closest friend in the music circle, I would say. But at this point, one of just my close friends.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Yeah, and we just had just a difference in creative direction. You know, he definitely I definitely aired more towards a little bit, I don't want to say, I guess a little bit more retro-y sound, I guess. I don't know. The music that he makes is much more current, and
Well,
it's
he's
dope.
got a retro sound too. What I see is it's a big bridge to gap between you, which is I would say pop rock is probably if you're gonna
Yeah.
boil it down. Whereas Mike is R&B.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But also, it's
reconciling that is difficult.
you're not going to have two lead singers in a band.
You could. You got just looking at your old videos and shit.
Yeah.
Those are some good harmonies.
Yeah,
You
it was-
know? It works in some sense.
Yeah, it was cool. At that time, I wasn't admittedly at the time, it was weird for me to be like, oh shit, like I'm not gonna be like the lead singer. I'm gonna be like a co-lead singer. But as it went on, you know, you kind of lose. Like there's a bunch of like you just kind of lose. You kind of gain perspective as you go on. And it was like, oh wait, this is actually dope. And we did make some like cool stuff, you know, like, and it was fun. And just kind of we still like, you know, I still like he wrote the keyboard line for Try the doo doo and the synth parts for that. And I wrote the bass line to that, and we like did some stuff like that. Like he's definitely played a hand in a lot of stuff. But
The end of Mad is great.
oh yeah,
Both you guys wailing.
yes. But I mean he's doing his own. He's the Friday night guy at the Horse now, dude. Which is fucking. He actually just texted me today and was like, "Are you available June 4th?" And it's a Friday, and I'm really hoping that was to play at the Horse to cover for him. And he's like,
yeah.
"I got a better gig," and then he double books it, and then I make friends with the busboy, and then it just starts all over. And that's our basis. That's our basis, dude. Yeah, and then I guess from that point, I would say probably the biggest bump up in my entire time of making music was meeting Sean Mercer. I would say that was like, I mean, that changed the game entirely. I wasn't even aware that you could hire a producer. Like I didn't know. Like I remember.
I wouldn't know who to go to.
True.
Yeah.
You know?
Honestly.
It's like you don't really, and that's the thing.
At the time, I wouldn't have.
Kevin Gorin, you know Kevin Gorin. I got a text today from the guy at Ampersy, and he said, "Hey, this guy Kevin just emailed me, and he dropped your name, and he, you know, is he any good?" And so I texted Kevin, and I was like, "Are you trying to get a solo drum gig at Ampersy? Because they only do solos." And then he called me immediately, and then we talked on the phone for like 30 minutes. He's the guy, you remember Kevin? He played with me and you.
Drummer mostly, but he's part of a lot of projects. I follow him on a bunch of shit.
Kevin's the shit.
Yeah,
he
he's
hit me
awesome.
up
Very,
today.
very good, yeah.
Yeah, he DM'd me and said, I didn't even read the DM at this point, but he had said that he was like, "Hey, I noticed you're playing in a lot of places, whatever. Like, how do you go about getting these gigs?" And the first thing that came to mind was really, like, I've cold called gigs before. Like, I could go in my notebook and I have like a list of, I would call up the place and talk to some fucking hostess and be like, "Hey, my name's Jimmy Selesky." I always say that. It doesn't matter. You know, like, I don't feel like you need to introduce yourself, but I just feel weird not.
You should have a list of names next to the list of
Yeah.
venues. I'm Schnarfeldarfelbus. And
Hey, this is Mike Manos.
I play the
Oh, Mr. Manos, right this way.
Oh, please come in.
We already have you booked.
We actually have a guitar for you.
Oh no, they think I'm Mike Manos. They think I'm Mike Manos.
And I would call him up and I'd say, "Hey, I'm hoping to get in contact with the person who books live music here." And then, of course, the host is like,
Oh, Jesus Christ.
1 second. Hold up. Just can I put you? Okay, 1 second. Let me put you on hold for just 1 second. And then they go, and then it's like 4 minutes, and they come back and like, my manager is saying just to give me your number, and then they'll call you. And I'll immediately be like, I appreciate that, Emily,
yeah.
but
Sweetheart.
I know that's not how it works. Like, I know for a fact, I don't say this. I don't go into full tirade. I'm like, "Emily, how much time you got?" Because here's my problem. See, I started playing music when I was 19 years old. And then, so, you know, but that's usually how it goes. And then if you're really lucky, they'll give you an email. And then you send an email, and then about 1 in 10% if you will, of people will actually email you back.
Yep.
And it's at that point, so now out of 50 bars, you might get 3 gigs.
That's music marketing in a nutshell.
Yes. And Kevin asked me, "How do you go about it?" And I started thinking about it, and this was today, and it made me realize that a lot of it really is just doing it.
Yeah.
You get into one gig, and then somebody's sitting at the bar who works at the bar down the street.
Yeah.
They're either the owner or a manager or a bartender or whatever. And they're like, "Oh, dude, you should play here." Or you just are doing it, and then somebody else goes, oh man, I can't play this gig on Friday. Can you fill in for me? And then you go there and you fill in for them and you make a good impression and they book you.
Yeah.
And so it's really just about like doing it. It's like, I don't think I would have met Sean or, I wouldn't have met you. Like, I wouldn't have met Mike. I wouldn't have met so many different people.
It's a charisma thing, at the end of the day.
Well, it's charisma. It's also being, if you're good, that goes a
also
long
just,
way.
like,
It's a
being
threshold.
around.
Huh?
Yeah.
Just being around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just actively doing it. Other people see you doing it. They're like, oh, okay, he does that.
Yeah.
I can use him for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The other part of that is literally being around. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
going to other people's shows, like sitting in on a song or two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, meeting like the dude playing down the street or the guy who's playing next.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
And it is so strange because that process is really how life works in general. But there's for instance, you go to college and you take classes and they say you take this class, this class, this class, this class, and then you graduate with a degree. And that lays out a clear path for how you're going to do whatever you're trying to do, at least to getting the degree. At which point, then you're dropped into the real world and realize that if you actually want to advance in your career, it's actually nothing like that. It's actually, you just got to start doing shit and hope and just kind of keep doing it and not stop doing it. And then eventually you
right
run into
person
this person.
notices.
Yeah. And like the whole who you know thing versus what you know, I think people misinterpret that to mean like, oh, you got to like already have a connection. It's not necessarily that. It's just like, do your shit. If you're good and you know how to talk to people, you're going to form relationships. And there's going to come a point where I remember my wrestling coach would always say that. He said, 90% of life is just showing up. 90% of life is just showing up. I won the Overly City County Championship by showing up because I made it to the semifinals and it snowed. It was Snowmageddon. We were off of school for like 2 weeks and the county decided the city and county said, okay, we're going to give everybody 4-pound allowance. And so for 10 days, everybody's snowed in, chilling with their friends, blah, 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 blah. Finally, the tournament comes back on 10 days later. They want to complete the final 2 rounds. Show up. Every other kid was like just fucking chilling, couldn't make weight, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, me and one other dude out of the 4 were like, we made weight. And then, so like, just showing up.
Jimmy is Snowman Zaleski.
Showing up, baby. I have that bracket on my wall and it just says forfeit. Fuck yeah, dude.
You won.
That's life, baby.
Yeah.
A forfeit's a fucking win, dude.
Yeah.
What do you want?
Got 'em.
You know?
Numbers.
They were fucking playing video games, probably banging chicks, doing cool shit, smoking weed, eating Cheez-Its. I wasn't doing any of
He's
that.
got that plaque. He's got the plaque.
Now, if I could have done that, I probably would have been doing that. Luckily, I was such a fucking loser that I had no other option but to maintain weight. You know what I'm gonna do for fun? Not eat. Love it. And that's it. And that's a lesson you kind of learn about anything, And it's hard to explain that, and it's frustrating to explain that. One of the most frustrating things ever, and I know you've seen this, I don't know if you go on the music forums, but you've probably seen this with film shit too.
I mean, everything's, relates back to this. Like
Yeah.
comedy shit, film shit, literally everything.
Like if you go onto a film tutorial, for instance, right? And you'll go on there and you're like looking up like, or like, I can't even use any terminology, so I'm going to bring this back to music and just follow with me here.
Okay.
You go onto a music tutorial and you're like, how do I compress guitar? And then the first answer is like some 50-year-old man and he's like, really? There's no rules to this, dude. Like, it's really just what sounds best to you. And I'm just like, that is not, I don't know what to
But
do with
now
it.
that you know how to do it, you understand his point though too.
It's literally how it works.
Yeah.
Like I was looking for somebody to be like, oh, if you want the guitar to sound good, you got to put your threshold at 20. You got to build the attack at 33 milliseconds. And that's how you compress guitar. And so I'm just looking for generic rules to things. And then you do it and you're like, it's not working. It's not working, dude. I remember I got a skateboard when I was like 8 years old from Target. And I brought it home. And I remember my dad always told the story. I was in my driveway yelling at my skateboard, saying, skateboard, skateboard, do the thing. Do the thing. And I started crying. And my dad was like, I think I might have been 6. I'm going to make my age younger. I was 2.5 years old in my driveway yelling at my skateboard saying it wasn't working because I thought that if I just had a skateboard, that I would immediately be doing fucking ollies and kickflips.
Demetrios!
And then I realized, oh, wait,
I got to do it.
I got to do it.
It's a tool.
You know? And so how do you explain to someone? It's literally you just look at someone, figure it out. That's life, dude. That's life, kid. Figure it out. You know? How does anything happen? You couldn't have planned this. I mean, I've planned meeting you for 5 years and you don't give a shit. But
I don't not give a shit. I just don't fucking remember.
sounds a lot like not giving a shit, dude. If you were to tell your girlfriend, I don't not give a shit, I just don't remember our anniversary.
Go easy on him, dude. John was like not alive for 5 years, apparently.
He was in stasis. Okay.
Yeah, man, but that's really what it comes down. And then all of a sudden, it's like something starts making sense, and you just kind of just do it.
I mean, honestly, though, you brought up YouTube. I feel like YouTube University is honestly like the best way to do anything. I mean, music is definitely how I started. I mean, it was how to play fucking Foo Fighters Everlong on YouTube, and just some idiot in a camera going like, yeah, you're going to want to put 9 fret, blah, blah, blah.
And
And
it's actually Marty Music, who's a god.
Marty
Have you ever heard
Schwartz.
Have you ever heard Dave Grohl explain how he wrote that song?
Yo, what is it?
He literally was like sitting with Nirvana and he like played that chord and he was like, he says it now. He's like, I don't know what the fuck it was, but he liked it. And that's to your point. It's just kind of like he did it and he was like, all right, this works.
And then Kurt Cobain was like, nah, dude. Nah.
Stay
was
on
like-
drums.
Wait till I'm 27.
Yeah. I got other plans next year.
You're going to be huge, Dave. Just wait.
But yeah, dude. I mean, fucking anything. I mean, even the shit like I went to school for, like fucking, I don't know, just like world politics and all that shit. Like, how I stay up to date on all that shit now is like, yeah, I read a good bit, but I also just watch like, people who make videos about it and like do reports about that sort of thing. And, like, I'm an idiot video editor, but Eric, you've probably done the same thing. I'm just like, how color Adobe Premiere? Like, what am I doing?
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, you got to watch a couple videos and like extract little bits and pieces from each one. Especially cooking is the same way. And I know you watch like food YouTube.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like,
dude.
How do you make a carbonara? It's like, yeah, fucking Adam Ragusa has a good carbonara. But what's binging with Babish do? And then you take the best
yeah.
ideas from both and make your own carbonara.
And then ruin it.
It's all about stealing. It's all about stealing ideas here and there and putting your own little twist on it when you can.
Exactly.
That is a very frustrating part of songwriting is when you're like halfway done writing a song and you realize it sounds like something else. And then at that point, you're like, I don't fucking care.
I think
don't
you got to fight
fucking
through
care.
that impulse, though.
Honestly,
and you
I-
guys helped me do that in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be such a high honor to have somebody be like, you stole my song. Fine. Good.
Good.
Sue me.
Sue
I
me.
would I would love it.
Do you know how much press that would bring
Yeah.
this band if you sued us for stealing?
Yeah.
Be awesome.
I guess just like I was talking more about like riffs in general. Sometimes I'm like, no, this is too much like the bass from da da da.
Yeah.
If you like actually play the whole song out, like and just execute what you're trying to do well, you're already like imparting that little bit of yourself in the song. It's not nobody's gonna be
Yeah.
like, oh, you stole this. You know,
Yeah.
it's like it's its own thing because you made it and you're just being like authentic.
So long as you're literally not playing the same thing. But
Yeah. And that's something you learn from cover gigs too, is like how many of the popular songs that you play that are literally the same fucking thing.
Right.
And how many
Same
songs are
4
literally
chords.
the same chords. You know,
Yeah.
it's like you own C, G, A minor, F, dude. I doubt it.
Yeah.
We own C, G, A minor, F, dude. We play at C and R. Do you play at C and R? I don't
on
fucking.
those Fridays, that shit's ours.
we play there once a month, every other month.
Come take these 4 chords from us. I want you to.
I've literally been begged. I do think it's hilarious that I've been in contact with the person who runs Barley's Backyard under 2 different, entirely different like things.
Yeah, you have an alter ego.
I'm playing there this Sunday, and I have a DM conversation with the same person on live from the studio talking about completely other things. And then I have another conversation on my own Instagram for the band, or my personal one, which is no longer the band, which I'm going to get to in a second. Oh, I'm getting to that. And
I
I
didn't think
just
he was gonna go there.
and she's like messaging me and like she's like she was like, yeah, any promo shots for your solo thing coming up? And I was like, I sent her a band pic and she was like, oh, I need like one of you. And I was like, well, maybe you should just book the band.
That's
Smart.
good. That's
Smart.
good.
Power play.
I don't understand why they don't do bands there.
Here's the thing.
The one time
might
we
be a
did
capacity
play,
thing.
I mean, yeah, we did. We played inside the one time, but
When it was
I mean, what?
when it was Turtle.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, when it was Turtle, and that was the shit.
Oh, it was awesome. That was we all saw the greatest
We
ass
all-
of all time.
That was particularly awesome.
It
That's
was
true.
unbelievable.
That
dude.
was one of the funniest moments of my life. I swear to God. In unison, just like
It's like you saw
What?
me, you saw that? I saw that. We
that was ridiculous.
the whole room just paused.
It was objective.
Probably
you
because we
know?
stopped playing.
It was almost
Guitar Hero
confusing.
noises started going off. Like,
Star power. Star power.
You suck. Yeah, dude, those are fun gigs, and I just think it's hilarious. I'm gonna show up on Sunday and play that gig, and then sometime next week, because the belt is arriving. I was mentioning that now the election's over, we can finally admit that the mail fucking sucks. That belt was supposed to be here fucking a week ago, and it just delayed and delayed and delayed. The FedEx thing, I got a speaker like the kind we use at CNR that I borrowed from Justin as a monitor. I just ordered that, and like that's FedEx, baby, coming tomorrow. They gave me a time.
private.
They gave me a time.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's there, baby. Tomorrow they're like, be here at 1:03 because you need to sign for this shit. And I was like, thank you, FedEx. Post office is like, we got it. We got it.
It's
When do I
going
get
to it's going to Odenton, and
It'll be there
then
by
it's
9
going to be in
p.m.
Sparks. It's going to be in Sparks for 2 days at a mailing center. Where it's going after that? Wow.
Probably another mailing center.
Maybe another mailing.
I'm just like, dude, can I just pick it up from Sparks? Can I just go to Sparks?
Like, I'll take the drive. It's fine. Just I want it.
I want it. I got a gig coming up, dude, and you got it in a fucking mailing center.
Can I just spend another $5? You guys can give it to FedEx, and it'll just be here.
Oh my goodness. I did think it was hilarious that I think the band Instagram was the best idea we've had this year. And I did think it was a good idea at the time, but I just think it was funny how like we were
how
talking.
long it took you guys to.
Well, I just imagine that like I don't know how the conversation took place, but I feel like it was like one of those things where like I'm imagining in my head it was like John and Joe were like, should we break it to Jimmy that we need?
That's literally what happened.
So honestly, this is kind of a pattern with Jimmy because he didn't have a personal Instagram page when we had the live from the studio one. So he would use the live from the studio page as his personal Instagram. And I would get like notifications of like girls DMing him back and shit. And like, and then that just happened again with you had Jimmy Selesky, but it was sophomores.
Yeah,
That's
and
a good bit of power if you got the password.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I just like would tend to not look at it just because I'm like, all right, I don't know what the fuck they're doing in there. I don't want to see.
You know, dude, just wherever. It
I
worked
don't
out.
want to see my friend at his thirstiest. Okay.
Yeah, for the record, I
Have some
never.
respect for your friend Jimmy.
I don't think I was ever that thirsty on Instagram.
I don't
dude.
think so.
I threw a couple fire emojis here and there. You can't throw a fire emoji anymore.
Really?
Really?
You can?
You can throw
I mean, you
fire
can. I'm just
emoji.
saying you can't. Like,
thought you said you
is that
can't.
thirsty? Is that thirsty? Eric's like, what? I can't send a fire emoji anymore. How the hell do I react
Totally
to people,
missed the
dude?
memo on that. Is something on fire? Like, something literally on fire?
Just stuff like that. So just throwing emojis at stories, you know. But it makes sense now. It made a lot of sense. I just remember on the phone, Joe is just like, yeah, but like, you know, I just feel like, you know, just having our band just be at Jimmy Selesky doesn't make sense.
It's not a
And I was-
band. It's not a band Instagram. I can't remember what the exact words were, but it's just like It's literally not what it is then.
Yeah, yeah. It
It's
doesn't make
either-
sense.
Is it the band page or it's not the band page?
Yeah.
What's your band's name? Sophomore. Oh, and you're on Instagram
No, it's Jimmy
at
Souls
Sophomore.
guy. It's Jimmy Souls guy.
And then I was so terrified of having to, my only holdup was I was so terrified of having to go back to the drawing board and follow a bunch of people because I got in. I think I ruined my career for 6 years when I was 22. When Henry came up, I don't know if you were part of this conversation. I think you were definitely in the room. But Henry's idea was, dude, just you have your Facebook page, and that's the thing. Like you have the Facebook page, so just literally like just go through your friends list and just post a link on everybody's wall,
Everyone's
one letter a night.
page.
And so I would every night post the link to my music page, Jimmy Selesky, on
Like alphabetically, like a
Alphabetically.
fucking phone book.
That is
He would just
sociopathic
every single
shit, Jimmy.
and this was before Facebook really like figured out their algorithm. So everyone who was friends with me, their entire feed would just be Jimmy Selesky posted on this person's wall. Jimmy Selesky posted on like
it would
literally
like condense it.
depending on the letter, it could be 140 posts. I would just sit there, one tab with my friends list, click, post. Take like an hour out of my night every night. And people would literally be DMing me and be like, they would say like, people would comment on it, be like, when they saw it was coming to their letter, they'd be like, "Don't do it." And then I would reply. I would reply to their
With the
comment
link?
with the link.
You fucking maniac.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Just because at that point it was just like, "Fuck you, dude." Shelby West like blocked me.
Yeah,
She hates me now.
because of that.
Literally, I think because of that. We used to sit together at Taliesin U, which is huge for me because she was super hot. And then I posted my link too much, and then it blew the whole thing.
Don't
My grand scheme
post
gets
your
famous
link too much.
is spamming everybody I know.
Jimmy was literally the OG dude on like Instagram comics being like, "I'm fired, but you're probably never gonna listen to me. If you would just give me a chance, click on my bio, my new songs in my comments. Check me out, please. I'm 13 years old and I make my own beats."
I'm a shooting star. I'm gonna make it one day.
And it just kind of like people, I think, piss a lot of people off. I really do.
I would
really
be
do.
so pissed if you did that, honestly.
You know, but at the
Not
time,
knowing you, I'd be like, "Fuck this guy."
I know,
Post
but-
on my wall.
there's certain things that
I would look forward to it because it would stir up so much shit. It's so funny.
I love that.
Because like
Case in
literally
point.
you got down to like the S's and it was like 600 people in. You
gave up at S, dude?
No, he went through the whole shit.
Okay,
but I
good.
just mean like late in the game, it was so fun to watch just because it was like it's like a month in. Like,
fucking hilarious, dude.
And Zarakowitz is just like, "What is gonna happen?"
But I tell you what, dude. Law of numbers. I got like 760 likes on that page.
All right,
Because of that.
all right.
What do you
Yeah.
want, dude? You can't hate on numbers. And you know what? It's 2021. Nobody remembers that shit. Shelby
That's
West remembers
true.
that shit. A couple other people might remember that shit. You know, but like,
Some will never forget.
you know, I think it took 6 years for people to forgive me for that. To now where they're like, actually taking it, like, you know, that's what I was afraid of. Is what I'm getting at. I was afraid of starting an
it was a
Instagram
bad
page.
first impression.
Yeah.
The 6 years ago.
And people finally let it go. And then
6 years ago.
Clean slate, dude.
And
Jimmy
then-
6 years
Selesky,
after.
this is sophomore.
Yeah,
Is he
dude.
still a sophomore? Oh, it's just like a thing. Okay.
Oh yeah. Technically, I'm still a sophomore. If we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty of it. But yeah, when we proposed the idea of the band Instagram, I was like, oh no. I just had like flashbacks. People DMing me, and I was like, oh Jesus, here we go again, dude. Just when things are finally starting to make sense.
I mean, you've been doing kind of the same practice recently. You just like follow everybody on our friends list, but like that definitely fucking works, and it's totally different.
It's
you know?
fucking working.
Yeah, dude.
A follow. Here's the good thing about a follow though. Nobody else sees it.
It's like a poke.
It is a poke. It's like basically a follow is basically saying, hey, I exist. Want to follow me too?
And it makes it so easy.
Yeah.
Literally on the notification that they follow you, it's like, do you want to follow them back?
Yeah. And which pisses me off the amount that only 50% I've been calculating it nightly. 50%. We were at 54%. Now we're down to like 48%. So I think the friends lists are organized by like your most interacted with down to
Yeah.
like just your randos.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And I think we're getting to the rando region, which pisses me off. It's like, dude, do you know how easy it would be to just click follow back? Sure, we're gonna
True,
unfollow you in a month.
As I'm super
Sure.
grateful for like all the support we've gotten in general, just like really positive feedback, like an interest. But sometimes like, you're not gonna follow me? You're not gonna follow me?
dude, I'm a big. Every now and then I'll just think of a random person that I follow. I'll
Just
think-
search them to be like, oh,
Yeah,
does
and
it say follows you?
dude. I'm not even kidding. I do that like weekly. I do that weekly. I
Hell
think of
yeah.
people from my past, like coworkers, friends, whatever, and I'll be like, let me see what they're up to. Search them out. If I see they don't follow me, I'll unfollow them and then follow them again. Just to be like, hey, you're not gonna fucking follow me, dude? I thought we were boys. You know?
Damn, throwing down the gauntlet. They better respond. I feel you. It's disappointing when they don't.
That is so petty.
It's not petty, dude. It's
I love the petty.
It's
I love
so-
it.
no, I
I
love
text
it.
you in
I
like
love
2
it too, but
years?
it's just like Jesus.
It's like, dude, I follow you. I follow you. I see your fucking stories all the time. You should see my stories all the time. You know, like social media has made it so incredibly easy to just maintain some little inkling of connection to people that would have never existed 50 years ago. Like, you know, I'm not going to just know Bob in the 70s, like some guy I worked at fucking Melting Pot with 10 years ago. I'm not going to know that he's on vacation this week.
Yeah.
You know, but now I can, and
Now
you
you
could
can
know that
rob
about
him.
me. And the fact that you decide, not to, I don't know, dude. I want to bring up one thing before we go out. It's completely unband related. I just want your opinion on this.
All right.
Um,
This better not be about like pissing through the fly again. I'm so over
no,
that
no,
one.
no, no, no,
So
no,
over that
no,
one.
no, 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 no. This is I say this for the end of the podcast too because I know she's not going to listen.
I do have a good poll though.
Oh
For
yeah.
the next time, you know, for women, really.
Oh great.
Do you want me to tell you what it is, or do we want to wait to put it on the band page? It
I
could
mean-
get weird.
Just another bracket scenario.
It's not a it's just a poll. It's just a poll. It's just the last time was do you pee over the fly or do you pee through the fly? And it was
That's-
clearly for men, but women would post on it and say, "Oh, of course, over the fly."
Yeah.
You don't know what you're
They
doing.
don't count.
They don't.
They don't count.
Yeah. Bitch, you're peeing above the fly.
Listen. All right. Here's my question.
Okay.
If you're a woman, you know how women have their dildos and their vibrators and stuff, and it's like very normal for them to have these things, right?
Yes. Yes.
Would you find it weird if you went into a guy's place and you found,
A fleshlight.
yeah,
I think that's an excellent question.
Is that weird?
How
Yes.
many?
Just no, fine. How? Well, the amount might
How
get
many
fucking strange if you've
How
got
many
like
fleshlights is weird?
if you've got like X amount of like fleshlight
I need
and
them
like,
neon
like
or like
signature
For-
fleshlights
if
by
you
like
walked
you know.
into a guy's studio and he had 4 butt plugs, would you find that weird?
So I mean, if you had like the Magnaflesh 4000, I might be
the
like,
Magnaflesh.
I might be like, dude, that's weird.
The
Dude, where did you
Octaflesh.
buy that?
It's like
Does
a
this
weird
count as
thing
one?
because dildos can be very like non-discreet.
Yeah.
Like
Or-
they can look like a
Hide it in a
fucking-
drawer.
Yeah, like
gone.
you would never know.
You mean they can? Yeah, okay.
But a
discreet, yes.
flashlight is like, all right, that's not an actual flashlight. What is
Yeah.
that? Oh wait, a realistic looking pussy.
Why does he keep this in the door of his car? It's not a
It's just in his
flashlight.
cup holder.
We need
Just
a-
in case.
a fucking minimalist fleshlight for the 2020s. Like Steve Jobs needs to come back from the dead and give us a fleshlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just need the tube. All you need is the
like a-
squishy
You were
tube.
just making it
A
too
fleshlight
simplified.
app for your phone.
Do you
would
guys
be
remember
nice.
those? Like, it was a toy. It was like a little. It looked like a fleshlight, but it was like
The, like,
see
glitter
through.
thing?
Oh,
It would have
the
like
thing
an
where you
aquarium
put
in
your
it.
finger
They're
in
like
it. It
Yeah.
turn
smelled
inside
real
out.
weird.
Have one of
Yeah,
those
yeah.
for adults, you know?
Those
Yeah.
things have been fucked so many times, I'm sure.
I
by so
fucked
many
mine, I'm
people.
sure. I don't
At some
remember.
point or another. It was bound to have happened.
I think that's an excellent question. I will say I think that's probably more of a live from the studio type poll. I don't know how that would
Fine.
fare on the band poll.
I just think it's a good poll to put out there.
We'll give you credit.
We'll give you credit.
You don't need to give
I'll
me
even
credit.
post you a picture,
I'm just
like
interested.
your picture behind
We'll
the
say
poll. Like,
John Burkhardt.
Fine.
wants to know.
I eagerly await the results. Either way.
I think that I'm actually interested to know how many girls know what a fleshlight is, because I
I'm
think
sure
that
now. I feel like it's
Kind of
everyone
a
knows what
meme,
it is, now.
right?
I think you'd be surprised how many girls just aren't aware of that shit. I mean, I would
Most
say
guys
probably
don't use
most
them, I'd
girls
say,
do know
but-
it, but I don't know. I could see a lot of girls being like, "What's a fleshlight?"
Sure. Yeah.
Like when it comes to those departments, I feel like girls just don't really fuck with that kind of shit. Like they don't know porn stars. You don't fucking say, "Oh yeah, this person." But I was gonna ask you guys this final question for you guys and you, all
Okay.
of you. How you feel about this? The girl that I've been talking to recently, when we first started hanging out, she called me out because she went through my.
Can we give her a name?
Let's call her
Dorothy?
Dorothy.
Wanda.
Dorothy works. Wanda.
I
Wanda?
prefer.
Yeah.
Let's go
Wanda.
with Dor-
Wanda.
Okay.
Wanda. I like Wanda. So she notices that on my Instagram when we first, because I met her on Hinge, and so naturally you're gonna stalk out the Instagram profile before you're like, oh, let's meet
As
up.
you do.
As you do. It's normal. So on like our second or third date, she brings it up and she's like, oh, you follow like so many like Instagram models, and I just thought that was like kind of a red flag, and I was like, what? You know, like what? Come on.
Me?
You're gonna call me out on this in public?
Me?
Public?
You're not gonna let me sim, dude?
I'm in the middle of my set. And so
You're a recovering simp.
yeah, I mean, dude, and like one of the hardest things ever is trying
It's
to
the equivalent to just having like fucking bikini like posters all over your fucking apartment. I feel like
yes.
in the modern day.
This leads me to a deeper question though, which isn't even the main question, but it's deeper than the main question. Which is I, for whatever reason, when like a girl that I'm talking to is like super into like other bands, it kind of makes me feel I'm imagining the same way that if a girl that I'm talking to sees me being super into like random chicks on Instagram. And I think that's weird. I think it's weird. But
Your perspective on it is weird? Or
my
it's-
perspective is on it is weird. I
Yeah,
think so.
Okay.
Would you agree that it's weird?
I would agree that it's weird. I don't feel that way.
Okay.
Yeah. I would
mean,
actually
it'd be more
rather
akin to like you seeing her follows and it being like just a bunch of dudes like crotch shots. Or
Yeah,
some
but here's
shit.
the thing. Here's the
Yeah.
thing. Girls
It's-
don't
yeah.
girls don't work that way though. Girls
Yeah,
don't
exactly.
follow a bunch of guys with crotch shots and shit. Girls follow guys that they find cool and interesting. And so if a girl is super into like a band, then I'm thinking like she'd probably fuck that dude if she had the chance. Potentially. So it's like I don't know. Does that make any sense? Like if you're
it totally
super
makes
into a
sense.
band.
I get your thought
Train of
process.
thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's like girls and guys' value systems are different. Like girls,
Way
when,
different.
That's
when-
true. I do see why it's judged differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Might be. I do see why it's judged differently because one's like, you know, both are like romantic in a sense, but one's like,
Instagram thoughts very romantic.
Oh, man.
one's like, I like what you're doing, and maybe that's like the girls, right? And the guys are like, yeah, I could jack off to this.
Yeah,
It's a lot more
yeah.
blunt.
It's much more in your
which,
face. But
you
that's
know.
also how the difference between how men and women approach sex in general.
That's generally true. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'd say
like for instance, when they have Playboy, right? They made a magazine called Playgirl soon after that, back in the 70s or 80s or whatever. Girls didn't buy that. Gay guys bought that. It was a bunch of hot guys. Obviously, girls aren't going to fucking Royal Farms and picking up a magazine of a bunch of hot guys on it. I mean, some girls may, but that's
Right, who
mainly
knows?
marketed all to. What'd you say?
I said, who knows?
I mean, who knows? But I'm saying it's not
I mean, all bets are off now because there's the internet and like plenty of girls watch porn and shit.
plenty, but not nearly as many as
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, I mean like all sorts of shit. Just like
But also, I feel like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like most girls like fucking watching like lesbian shit at the end of the day.
It'd be an interesting poll. I wouldn't be surprised. I
can see that.
I want the data.
I could see that, but I've heard mixed reviews on that because a lot of guys like watching lesbian shit too. So it's like, you know, lesbian shit just kind of hits on all cylinders, really, if you think about it. But I don't know. It's always been like I don't like bring it up, but it always kind of is weird. Like when I see them like share a Spotify thing, and it's not our song, I'm like, what the fuck? Come on, you know? It just kind of like throws me a little bit.
I get that. Yeah.
Let me make this
I
comparison.
usually find it more attractive. If a girl's showing bands and shit, it's like you are very passionate about something, and I enjoy that. You know,
That's a cuck mentality, Joe.
fuck you. No, it's not.
It's a
Joe's
cuck mentality.
Get out of here.
His weird
no,
poly
absolutely
brain.
not.
I find it so attractive when she's into other dudes that aren't.
What were you saying though, John?
No, I get that mentality. I get both sides of where Joe and Jimmy are coming from, because it's like I can see where it'd be like, if you're gonna be sharing something, why can't you share the art that I've created?
She might
As
like the
opposed-
song too.
Yeah,
I think she might like the song.
yeah, but it's like,
Yeah. She
but I
might wanna fuck
appreciate
that
the
guy.
fact. But I appreciate the fact that you want to fuck the lead singer of the 1975. That's
Yeah.
sick.
That's
and
sick.
I like that band, but fucking keep it in your pants.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like,
yeah.
but I get it where it's like, okay, like you want to let people know that you're listening to the song and you're passionate about it, and like you want other people to listen to it. But it's like, I just put this fucking piece of
Yeah.
work out that a lot of people don't realize how much work goes into putting out a song. It's like,
Yeah.
we put in fucking 72, you guys put in 72 fucking takes of one guitar track. I tell people this,
Yeah.
and they're like, holy fucking shit. You
Yeah.
guys sat there until 4 a.m. getting
Yeah.
one guitar line right. And
Yeah.
it's like,
We've sat here till 4 a.m. doing a lot of stupid shit.
well,
so
yeah, but
It's kind of, you'd think we would have made more
Yeah.
takes.
yeah. But the point is like, we put all this like heart and soul into this.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, to take it back to the very beginning of our conversation, is we get these fucking reviews from these people who are like, yeah, it's good, but it's just not catchy enough. Or, yeah, it's good, but the vocals just aren't
It wasn't
there.
loud
Yeah.
enough.
It wasn't, loud enough. The volume was too. The chorus wasn't big enough. It's like, it just all ends up being objective.
Yep.
But I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
However,
Oh, here we go.
looking at a girl's ass and liking it, and looking at a girl's boobs and liking it is very different than a girl being like, "Hey, I like this band."
All right. Let me just give you this example.
Yeah,
You can all,
like-
just don't like it, dude. Just look at it and scroll past.
I don't know why I always like them, dude. It's like, why do I like them? You know, it's like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you don't like them. I don't want anybody to see that.
I don't know what it is, dude, but I like them. I don't know what it is. Gotta like them, you know? Okay, let me give you this example. Maybe this will help kind of clear things up a little bit. Let's say you're a UFC fighter. You're a UFC fighter, you're dating a chick.
All right, I'm a
And
UFC fighter.
you are you're fighting for the championship, you're doing something, you're fighting your way up through the ranks, you're trying to do your best thing ever. Your girlfriend is a huge Conor McGregor fan, loves Conor McGregor. And all she's posting about all the time, oh my God, did you see that Conor McGregor fight? It was so good. He's such a great fighter. And you're sitting there doing your fucking damnedest to try to fight up the ranks, doing your shit. You devoted your entire life to it.
Okay.
Could you not see how that could kind of come off as
I didn't realize we were comparing them sharing us and them sharing another person. I thought it was just like a girl shares a band, she wants to fuck them, and that makes
Obviously.
me upset. I thought that was like the through line of your
Well,
argument.
It's one of the through lines.
It's not like
That I
Jimmy's
disagree
like
with. That I
reposting like a
Yeah.
girl's ass.
Yeah.
on
Everyone needs to see
But it's a
this.
song.
I didn't
Did you
realize
see
it
what
was
I
on.
saw? Because holy shit.
There's
This
not
ass is literally vibes right now.
Listen, I'm just saying, I share songs all the time. And
Right.
I'm never like, yeah, this fucks and like, this fucks, you know? Like, I'm trying to come right now. It's like, I like the song and I want other people to see that. And I feel like girls probably do the same thing most of the time.
Yeah. I'm sure
I
that.
get it. And you could make a million analogies about it, but I think that like I get where you're coming from, where it's like, you really put all this fucking hard work into
Yeah.
these songs.
And again, if they showed somebody else's and they didn't show ours and we felt like close to them, it'd be like, what the fuck? I didn't know that's
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Well, that was
that
kind
I totally agree with.
That was
Yeah.
kind of what happened. So what happened was she
She shared one of Mike Manos' songs.
all right, turn it off. Turn off the fucking camera.
What happened was she liked the song. She commented on it. She texted me. She's like, I'm listening to it with my roommate right now. Blah blah blah. And the next day, but she never shared it. Next day, she shared some song by Dawes, and it was like some super stripped down song where he was like, "You know, I just am doing me," or something stupid.
Yeah,
It was something
dude, it's
fucking stupid.
90% of Dawes songs are just boring as shit. Nothing's happening. And
Yeah.
then,
It's
But
like
also,
this.
I feel like girls, whenever they share songs, they're just like, "This is me."
Yeah, yeah,
It's a very meta comment,
yeah.
is usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that
That's
girls
like
listen to Tendencies
white
and
girls' country.
Yes. Okay. So she shared that band's song, and I just was a little bit of a bitch, and I was like,
I get it.
oh wow, didn't share our song, but congrats, dolls. That's what I said.
Yeah, whoa, you talking to him now too?
And then I was like, another message. Joking, but I was like, OMG, Dawes, this song is so good. I can't think of any other song anybody should possibly listen to right now other than this song by Dawes. It's so
That's
good.
incredible.
there you go.
Just
now- that's
clear-
smooth though, because now it's a bit.
Yeah, I made it funny,
It's
you know?
I'm kind of thinking about it, but
I'm
being
mad.
funny.
I'm mad,
being
but
funny.
like,
Haha,
Dude, I
you
was fired up. I was at the gym afterwards, just sitting there lifting weights. Fuck Dawes, fuck Dawes, dude. He's got a big chorus. Does he have a bigger chorus than me? Does he have a bigger chorus than me?
the vocals are there.
And she literally said, she was like, oh no, I literally shared it 3 times, but every time I shared it, I was like, I thought it would be too much, because we're not dating or anything. She just thought it was too overbearing, and I was like, no, actually what you did was underbearing. What you should have done. But no, that was just something. But anyway, the reason I brought this whole thing up is because one day when I was asleep at her place, she went on my phone, and I found this out today. I'm assuming I haven't confirmed this yet, but I think she unfollowed all the Instagram models that I follow.
Holy
No
shit.
way. What?
Yes. Yes. And so
That's weird.
that's what I was gonna say. Is
This is finally the hypothetical.
yeah, right?
we made it.
this is where I was trying to get to here. I
The other stuff was a pop quiz, boys. This is the real test.
I spent
Did you unfollow all our bands, dude?
first dolls. I noticed it because I was noticing a very large lack of thoughtness in my feed. I was like, dude, normally every time I open my feed, I get distracted.
Something you picked
Just
up.
switch
yeah.
to live from the studio.
Nobody's
Literally,
unfollowing.
I can't look at our Instagram page in public anymore.
No, I actually have cleared it up a lot.
There was a point where the bot was going ham and it was just following mad people. There would literally just be porn clips
Yeah.
in my news feed.
Wow.
Yeah, it was definitely the bot.
It was
And-
crazy.
It was the bot, dude. If you
Yeah.
ask me, the bot was going a little haywire, dude.
Jimbot Soul
Had to tell the bot to stop DMing chicks, doing all that crazy bot shit. You know how technology is. You can't trust it.
AI these days, man. They,
AI.
they fucking learns, dude.
So I noticed it because I noticed it, and then I spent an hour out of spite searching every single one of them and refollowing
A
them.
lot of those pages are private now. You had to request
I had to request.
follow.
She unfollowed Summer Soderstrom, which I was kind of angry because I actually know this one. When I like her pictures, that's me supporting her, you know? And I
Right.
noticed, yeah, I'm supporting her. And I noticed that she
I've
unfollowed
heard that one before.
she unfollowed me because I unfollowed her, and that made me kind of made me mad because I was like,
Oh,
damn, it's like this person thought that I
she
was,
could have shared our song.
Exactly. That too. Not that I thought about that, but that too. That too. So I actually DM'd Summer and I said, OMG, blah, blah, blah.
You won't believe that some girl I was sleeping with
I hope you see
unfollowed
this.
you. So if you see this, give me another follow. Love you.
I not in so many words, but I said that it was an accident. I followed her, like making a joke about it, and then she followed me back.
Damn, I'm
So I-
surprised you didn't get like fucking buried in like
and I said it
300
all.
other DMs, dude.
No, I literally spent about an hour. I couldn't think of this one girl's name, but I spent an hour finding her. Not because I wanted to follow her, but because it was like a violation to me. It's like you don't.
Do you know
fucking-
this happened? Do you know like
I
That
can't
was
think
the
of
person
any.
Why would they get unfollowed? Jimmy didn't sleep unfollow these
Yeah.
beautiful women.
I don't sleep on follow, dude. It's not a thing I do. Not like fucking too hot. Too hot. No, thank you. In a relationship. No. But yeah, I didn't want to make this whole conversation weird, but I just thought that was a weird situation. That
would agree.
It's a little bit of
violation
invasion of,
is fair.
yeah, it's
Fair
an
characterization.
Yeah. So
Invasion.
I think
Privacy.
her requesting you unfollow is not unfair, but her going
doing
on
it.
your phone and doing it is
Exactly.
a bit it's stepping over a line.
over the line, right? So I'll probably just say something like funny and passive aggressive about it, as I usually do in any confrontational situation.
Oh no.
Smart.
And I'm sure it'll just fix itself.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
No, I'm not that ticked about it. I just thought it was an interesting.
Just bring it up
Thought-
like, hey, do you remember who you unfollowed online?
I think it's the equivalent of just any snooping situation.
Hey, did
You know what I mean?
Did you watch the last Live from the Studio podcast?
Yeah. Oh, dude.
You didn't share the last Live from the Studio podcast.
I think she does listen to these, so I'll probably just let this conversation stand. But other than that, dude, do you have to go now?
No.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'm my own I live my own life.
Okay, dope.
Okay.
That's
I might
pretty
have
cool,
to pee
right?
again.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna pee
I have a
too.
great fiance.
We can,
Oh yeah, dude. She's not unfollowing LFTS as we speak on your phone.
we can wrap this up though.
Yeah, we can either wrap it up or I got a whole fucking list of shit we can talk about.
Oh shit. How long have we been going?
like
It's
it's been a while.
11:45 now.
Okay, yeah, so we've been going a while.
Yeah.
Half, yeah.
We can probably leave it on this.
That's
Unless you
fine.
guys have any other like crazy VH1 behind the music stories.
For sophomore?
For sophomore,
Not that I can remember.
specifically.
Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
Mhm. He got the Men in Black pen.
Yeah.
Straight to the dome.
Interesting.
But it's awesome because it made him a really good drummer, and it's worked out really well for us.
Yeah.
You
so
drum
far.
with two of those MIB sticks.
Right.
Constantly flashing yourself nonstop.
What's it? What am I doing? I don't. How do I do this?
Oh yeah, so you were out in California for drumming. What was that all about? I don't know if I've ever even asked.
What
you
was it
that.
about?
Yeah, were you,
was about
were you there for
drumming.
school or like?
Yeah. I kind of followed the same path as you and Jimmy, except I made the mistake of actually going back to school. So I graduated Towson, and I didn't get into Towson University. I actually got into.
Dude, me neither.
I somehow got into UMBC. I don't.
Hell yeah.
I'm
I
not a
didn't get in there
doctor.
either.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not that fucking smart. And I ended up going to UMBC for a year and a half. And while I was there, I just basically somehow partied at UMBC.
Yeah,
which
that's-
is like,
I've
how do
never
you-
heard of that.
Yeah.
Requires being smart.
I roomed with my good friend from high school, and then ended up meeting a couple like really good people who were, I don't know, in the party scene at UMBC, whatever that means.
Yeah.
And I would just get drunk all the time and not like do anything. It was literally like the Everclear and fucking tea for you guys. Like we didn't really do anything. Like we just got drunk, and I didn't play drums all that much. I kind of had a falling out with a friend who I was in a band with, and like he had a drug problem that I didn't know about at the time. Like I ended up having him stay in my dorm, sleep under my dorm room bed for a week because he was having such a tough time. And at the time I was just so like oblivious to what was going on. And I was at UMBC, left there, went to Essex for a semester and took a bunch of bullshit classes. And then I ended up getting into Towson University and ended up taking a acting class and some random like music history class. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I need to figure this shit out. And my parents were like, you know what? We'll help you out. I auditioned for Berkeley in Boston. Didn't get in.
Really?
Didn't even come close to getting in.
How you know it didn't come? Did they say that? You're not even close,
Dude, I blew the fucking interview or the audition so bad because it involved not only drumming, but it involved like music theory and like there was more to it where they would like they literally played scales on a piano and they were like, here, sing this scale. And they went C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And I was like, C, D, E, F, and it was horrible. It was terrible. And I was like, I was sweating the whole, it was just bad. It was just bad.
Why do you
I
have
didn't
to
get
know that to be a drummer?
I think it's just, Berkeley's just like a school of
like
music. And you just
prestigious.
fucking do everything. And then I got into Musicians Institute and went there for a year and a half and fucking like, I was literally at school every day for 8 hours a day, whether it was like not even half that time would be class.
Where is that, by the way?
It's in Hollywood, literally in the
tight.
middle of like essentially I would say my backyard, but I lived in an apartment building, but essentially like around the block was the Jimmy Kimmel studio. So I would walk by and I'd hear bands all the time. Like I got to walk by and hear Zac Brown Band, Paramore, and a bunch of other people that like just in passing I would just sit there and just watch their fucking show from like across the street. It was
Hell yeah.
awesome.
That's that story about the Berkeley audition gets me because it's like, I don't know. I just feel like there's a way. The thing that bugs me about those admissions processes, like kind of even like
Towson's the same way. I mean, any traditional music school that's accredited is very much that way.
I'm just talking about more generally. So, like for instance, like Harvard. Harvard is I forget which one it is, but I think it's Harvard where you can't transfer to Harvard, right? Like you have to get in your freshman year, or else you're not going to Harvard. Like you can't do like I didn't get in, so I'm gonna go to 2 years at state and then reapply.
Right.
You can't do that at Harvard. You have to get in your freshman year, which to me it like makes it sound more exclusive, but also it completely ignores a reality, which is that people grow at different rates. Like, and you're looking for somebody who is in the peak of their like academic abilities by time they're 17 years old and they're applying. It's like that's not really how everybody gets there. You know what I mean?
But
I didn't
Harvard's
hit
kind
that.
of different, I think. I definitely think Harvard's because it's like part of why you're going to Harvard is because you're saying that you went to Harvard and there's something about the institution itself and its kind of peculiarities that makes it desirable to like employers or positions that people who would go to Harvard are going to get, you know?
Yes.
So like part of it is like, yeah, you're going to be here for 4 years studying hard, really fucking hard at something, you know?
Well, yes, I understand.
Berkeley's kind of silly. I agree. That it's like
There is a certain
that's
level.
not the way I would do music.
There's
personally.
ways to procure exclusivity that actually improve the output of talent and ability.
Right.
But there's also ways to procure exclusivity that don't actually benefit the output of talent. Like if your goal as an institution is to educate and put out the finest minds that this country has to offer, then there seems to me that there should be some consideration for people that may be extremely smart and maybe extremely talented and maybe just weren't there at 17 years old or 16 when you applied junior year to college. Like maybe that
you can
person.
apply later, right? You just have to go the 4 years. Like, can't you be like 25 and go to Harvard?
I don't know. I
I
don't
feel
know.
like you can.
Probably,
You're
but also
likely,
like
it
the people
seems.
that do that are like, yeah, I had a gap 6 years where my
Yeah.
parents sent me to.
Yeah. Now I'm going to go to Harvard.
Yeah.
Of all things.
I don't know. There's a lot about those types of schools where it's like you're obviously a very talented drummer, and the fact that they have this very hard line way of judging people, which isn't at a certain point it becomes counterproductive. You know, these systems were invented because it generally applies to certain people, but when there's no consideration for other factors and they just hold you to this hardline thing like, oh, well, you know, for years we've been making all of our drummers know how to sing the C major scale. And if you are a drummer that can't sing the C major scale, then that means you're not Berklee material. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why? You know?
I agree with that. I guess I'm just saying, like, the Harvard model makes sense if you're studying, like, law or, like, behavioral neurology or something.
Yeah.
Like, things like that where it's, like, a discipline with a strong, like, academic... Sorry. Yeah. Discipline with a strong, like, academic tradition or whatever. Whereas, like, music, I almost feel like the best way to do that, the way that I think works the best would be, like, more like an apprenticeship program
Yeah.
or, like, you know, just trying
That's
to
how
foster,
MI
like,
is.
mentor
Very much
relationships, you know?
Actually, I was watching a YouTube video recently that was talking about Berklee, and they have this genre of music they call Berklee funk, or it's not really a genre of music, but it's kind of a like a derogatory thing to say, is that a lot of people that go to Berklee, when they're composing music, they tend to all compose music in a certain way, and you can listen to a band like and be like, oh, this is a Berklee band, because they all kind of have this like different but in the same way type of sound. You know what I mean? Where Berklee is like where people are more focused on the theory behind the music than the music itself. Like they're more focused on like, oh, in measure 6 we should have a key change because that's going to be different, or like we should do this beat and then change time signature. It's just like, okay, but at a certain point you lose the point of making music. Like,
Right.
Yeah, it's all like math equations at that point.
it's almost like jerking
Yeah.
yourself off with music theory. It really is. It's like you're sitting
Yeah,
there
I
being
definitely
like,
see that,
oh yeah, like our song, like there's a time signature change in this third chorus, and then we key change up to here, and then hit like a fifth note, and it's like, okay, dude, but does it sound good? Like, am I gonna listen to the song and be like, this is good, or am I gonna listen to the song and be like, oh, that was cool, I guess?
Right. I've never been into like these like public musicians, I guess, kind of like a public intellectual, but
Yeah.
like a public musician. The one that comes to mind is like Jacob Collier, people like that.
Yeah.
You've probably seen him on like fucking TikTok or YouTube, just
Yeah,
like
it
being
blows
good
my
at
mind.
music.
He really is like the Einstein of music.
He is
Yeah.
insane, but I've never liked anything he's ever done. It feels it like not like I've never liked it. It's like, ooh, that's a groovy chord he just played. But like his
Yeah.
own stuff is just not like. It feels like he's jerking himself.
Yeah,
off.
Yeah,
like
like
you
dude,
res-
if you're so smart, why aren't you famous?
Yeah. Like you respect him as a musician.
Oh, he's amazing. He's so much better than I'll ever
Of
be.
course,
But he
yeah.
just doesn't like. It feels kind of soulless sometimes.
I was gonna say like there's no soul to it. Like there's this guy, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, but he goes by C6 Steve. And he
Okay.
literally plays a 3-string guitar. You should look him up on I have watched this video of him playing on Jules Holland, like it's from years and years ago. But he's just like this fucking hodunk Louisiana guy that just plays the shit out of this 3-string like piece of shit guitar. And then there's like on the totally opposite side of the world is Jacob Collier, who is like an absolute bar none fucking genius when it comes to music. Like
Yeah.
it's very methodical, very thought out. Like everything he does, it's like it is very like mathematical.
Yeah, he's like a theorist almost.
But then there's guys like, I mean, even us, like we're closer to the spectrum of just like, let's just play what feels right.
Yeah.
Like, let's not fucking worry about, if this truly makes sense music theoretically.
Yes. And there's also a sense like trying to explain the what is the word I'm looking for? The music itself, like the experience of listening to a song. To try to explain that through any other means other than listening to it. Like to try to explain it, like I forgot what the quote is. I think either Einstein said or some other guy who's cool and says quotes. Mark Twain said most quotes, and then Ben Franklin said like maybe like 40% of the other quotes, and then there's like a couple others from Einstein and some other people, and then a bunch from unknown because that's cool. Whenever a quote's by unknown, you know it's true. It's a
They
true
probably
quote.
died.
I heard a lot of them,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, but trying to understand music in terms of like explaining how the sound vibrates and like different vibrations and different frequencies like that, like you can explain to me how this is 440 hertz frequency and then it's at this amplitude and there's different reverberations, but you would never understand music unless you heard the music itself. You could try to theorize it all you want. You could try to understand the mathematics behind it, but there is a certain sense of just when you play something, it feels right. And there are applications, like nobody wants to sit and listen to a band who's just doing like fucking the most basic shit ever. You should be able to do that shit when it calls for it, but it should be tasteful. You know, like if there is a point in the song that it would sound dope to switch the time signature or do a key change, do it. But don't just do it because you can.
Right. Theory can be like a really good tool in a lot of situations, but I know like we've talked about this concept before in the sense that like when you're writing a song, you're figuring out what it's supposed to sound like. It's like it comes like from outside of you or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you're trying to like play what you hear in your head rather than like writing it.
Yeah.
you know,
I think it's
as
good to
this
look at
active
it.
process.
Look at it from
Super
like
intuitive.
look at it from a math perspective, right? You've got your basic algebra, you've got addition, subtraction, division. Everybody knows those things, right? Everybody gets those things. That's fucking Post Malone. Seriously.
Yeah.
Everybody gets that shit. And you use it, quite frankly, almost every day. But then you've got calc and trigonometry and anything beyond that, which like you do learn those things in high school and you remember a couple of things, and that gets closer to like a snarky puppy if you're familiar, where it's kind of like it all feels familiar and it sounds good, but you know that like a lot of it goes over your head because music theory is very advanced with them. And then you get, you know, I don't know, you can get crazier than that with any like prog band and shit that gets even further and further away from like what's really familiar, which is like being able to add, you know, number plus number or subtraction and doing division here and there.
Well, to me, judging music, it's kind of like looking at an athlete and like looking at Michael Jordan, for instance. I love comparing music to athletes in case you guys haven't noticed. It's a lot like taking Michael
They're
Jordan.
two incredible worlds that just mesh
Yeah,
so
they just
well.
mesh so well. Basketball and rock, you know? Toss the rock, you know? Is that a coincidence? Who fucking knows?
Swish.
Hey, Michael Jordan, we see you can sink that three-pointer, but like, do you know how fast that ball is accelerating when you shoot it and it leaves your hands? Are you aware of what angle it's gonna, what degree of an angle it's gonna bank off the backboard into the net? No,
He doesn't
I
give a
don't.
shit. He's
I don't
like,
give a shit.
If
I
it
shoot
feels
better than
good,
that guy who does.
Yeah.
You know, it's like at a certain point you're trying to. That's what's so strange about art, and why. I mean, just art in general. I've always more so gravitated to things like math and like physics and stuff like that because I enjoy the objectivity of it. I like the fact that 2 + 2 = 4, and
And it doesn't
you can't
equal anything else.
you can write all day and all night about why it doesn't, and if you get it wrong, it doesn't. It just it equals 4.
Yeah.
And you either get that or you don't. Yeah. And if you can take that and then go, okay, well, what does 5 + 5 equal? You understand the formula. Okay, it's 10. That's it. Art is very much like, in terms of making art, like for me, why it doesn't bother me, those criticisms that we got on that playlist push thing, is primarily because as long as I enjoy it, I understand that art is subjective.
Yeah.
I understand that when people listen to our song, that not everyone is going to like it. And I understand that there are perfectly produced songs, like $1 million produced songs that every single note that should be in that song is in that song. The bass sounds exactly how it's supposed to sound. The kick sounds exactly how it's supposed to sound. The vocals are perfectly balanced. The vocals are all the way there. And then
It's loud.
it's loud and it's loud.
The chorus is there.
Yeah. and people just still don't like it. You
Yeah.
know, like Matt Brown said, he was like, you guys sound a lot like the Gin Blossoms, and I think the Gin Blossoms are kind of gay, but I like don't particularly care for the kind of music that you make, but you guys are really good at making that music.
That was the clip, dude.
Yeah.
That's the clip from the episode.
And it's like
That was geeky.
it's like that means as much to me as if you said you like the song, because if you say you like the song,
He appreciates what we're doing.
Yeah.
He just does it. He's maybe not his cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Taste. You expect that for sure.
yeah, and you learn as you go on that like not everybody, like I enjoy the type of music we make, but also like, I could turn on a playlist of some of my favorite songs and people be like, turn this shit off. Some songs I think are fucking awesome. You could be around, I could pump a song by 1975. You could play something by Japanese House with a certain one of your friends. It's like, what is this shit? So it's like, if you don't like it, that's one thing.
Right.
But if 7 playlists don't like it, that's when I draw the fucking line. So the next one better be a fucking approval,
It is
dude.
an even number.
Lucky number 7. That is a lucky. I'm actually gonna check right now, see what's going on.
Dude, if we get one right now,
That would be so cool.
it'd be electric.
That'd be honestly That would be literally electric. Let's check playlist push. Come on, playlist push.
Give us something good.
Give me something good.
Tell me something good.
Refresh.
That's not a good sign.
Here we go. Come on, pull it. Nothing.
Classic.
Whatever, dude. I'm sure SoundCloud's vibing with it as we speak, dude.
I have it on one of my playlists.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we're a SoundCloud band at the end of the day. We're the
We really are.
we're the only
Wow.
band on SoundCloud. We're also the only podcast on SoundCloud. I mean, we're a SoundCloud podcast and SoundCloud band, dude. What do you fucking want?
That is
brand
what you
loyal,
call
okay?
a win-win, my friend.
Yeah, dude. Like, and people that I reposted that song on a hip hop playlist. That's hip hop promo. Half the comments are like, "Yo, I fuck with this shit," like Young Sizzle, Lord Booty, and stuff. They fuck with that shit, So it's like, but the indie people, whatever the fuck that means, they don't fuck with it. All right, dude. Well, we're hip hop now. Fuck you, then, dude. We're hip hop.
Hey, you know what? I will
can be
say
hip-hop. We just
WTMD gave us the fucking thumbs up.
They did, but we need to give them
They
the
don't
clean
like
version.
shits or fucks, but they gave us the thumbs
Yeah,
up.
but they give a fuck and they give a shit about the song, dude.
Sam Sessa is
Bingo.
my fucking man.
Yeah, that was dope, dude. When I read that email,
I'm so excited.
I read it and then I marked it as unread, and then texted you. I was like, "Yo, read this email that I haven't read yet." That's the equivalent of opening up a letter and then gluing it back together and then giving it to you.
Thank you.
I had already texted Sean.
It doesn't
about
matter if you fucking opened it or not. That's why a fucking banned email is there.
Well, no, I was gonna say I didn't want you to miss it because it was marked as read. Our only other emails
You
are
wanted
from.
you
But
to
just
feel
because
like
you,
he
but
felt.
just because you mark it as unread, doesn't make the note. Never mind. It doesn't. This is a moot point, but it
My
doesn't
eyes
make
would
the
blink
notification go. It doesn't make a notification pop up.
Yeah, that's why
It
I
just makes
texted you,
Oh my god.
It's like a present, dude. Do you like Christmas, John?
dude.
You know what?
Do you like Christmas?
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't be fucking complaining.
Dude, I did like probably the best possible thing I could have done in that situation. I read it.
You really did. I should.
I read it. I made moves. And then I marked it as
Unread
unread. And I unread it. And I texted you and said, I think I'm going to make these moves. I think I'm going to text Sean. Meanwhile, I'm already halfway in the conversation. Like, yeah, I need you to take this out. But I already told Sean we were going to need a clean version of that, dude.
Yeah.
We're going to need a Kids Bop version of
Yeah,
that song.
I remember talking about it last day at the studio.
It's just
Do
unreal.
you guys record clean lines, or is he just gonna bleep it?
I think
he's just gonna mute it, right?
he's going to mute it. We're not going
Gonna
to
put
bleep it.
WAP over it.
Wop. I tend to wop things up.
We were thinking about using the phone recording I have of John throwing the dildo from the other podcast at the black ass poster.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And then just.
I also like when songs like instead of like bleeping it out, they'll just like reverse it.
That's what I kind of want to do.
True.
Cuff.
I tend to
Tiss.
things up. I tend to take this ish for granted. I love ish, dog. Ish. Say ish all the
Yeah.
time.
So you can say uff.
Oh,
I'm gonna say Tish.
I
Though.
tend to uff
tish.
things up.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
tend to tish things up.
it's like but I mean, the idea that we're gonna be on a radio station is
Dude, I will
Radio
say
play.
it is an unreal feeling to hear yourself on the radio. No matter if it's local or whatever. But like
just
the first
the
time
introduction
I heard,
going in would probably blow my mind. Like
it's,
just
dude,
Oh, it's gonna be sick.
It's a very cool feeling.
I have this like life fantasy of like just being somewhere and hearing one of our songs. Like just like being somewhere
It's-
like at
yeah.
a bar or something and just hearing it.
Absolutely.
I cannot imagine how crazy that would feel.
Oh my god, yeah.
It is. I mean, it is surreal to be like. I was sitting in my car going to the gym, and a Thunder Club song came on 89.7, and I just like freaked out. I was like, "This is
Hell
fucking
yeah.
awesome."
It's fucking
Because it wasn't like what I submitted us for was like a scheduled show.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we would have
Right.
like a
Ultimate
part
Upgrade.
in the show, but like Thunder Club ended up being in rotation at a certain point. So like randomly we would get on. And you know what's also a very cool thing about this is people will Shazam it from 89.7, and you can see the amount of people that Shazam the song, which
How
is
do you
very
see
cool.
that?
You just when you Shazam any song, it'll show you how many times the song has been Shazammed,
Oh, Shazam.
which is
We got to start running those numbers up.
which is
oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
dude. We
Let's
got to
all
start.
open up Shazam after the podcast.
I mean,
Shazam
honestly, no
live in the
matter
studio.
how much or how little, it's very cool to see that people are intrigued and take notice and go like, "Hey, the fuck is this song?" And they
Yeah.
That must be so incredibly satisfying.
I just
It's
want to see
really
if it
cool.
works.
I think it's
it
incre-
does.
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Can we
fucking test
Shazam
it
our
out
song right now?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do
it
it.
would work.
That's fucking crazy.
It'll work.
Our YouTube video has coming up on 200, which doesn't sound like a lot, but we've been getting a lot recently. And I've been looking at our like the things that matter on YouTube. I've blown my mind out of the water this week looking up shit to how to get views on YouTube.
Algorithm.
How to hack the algorithm because I don't know what, even with like our podcast clips, like I was venting this about Dom and I was like, dude, I don't care how bad people or the world would think our podcast is. There is no way we should be getting 2 views per video. That is absolutely a travesty.
Yeah, because like you see the Instagram, and it's like, okay, 300 plus at least.
There's 7 billion people on the planet. And you're telling me that only 2, one including myself,
Probably me the other.
yeah. So only 0 people out of 7 billion would find this conversation intriguing in any manner. I find that very difficult to believe. There's something going on at YouTube, dude. I wonder.
I feel like you got to be more clickbait.
Jane Goodall might take interest, like studying
You got to be
grapes
very
and shit.
clickbaity.
I changed one of our titles. I posted the clip of you and me debating over whether or not you'd rather eat cockroach curry or a slice of human meat. And
Coach Curry.
no.
Cockroach curry actually kind of sounds good.
Bugs of the future. Have you seen Blade Runner 2049? We're eating
Dude.
bugs, dude.
Fuck you guys, dude. A slice of human meat. But anyway, that's not the point of this conversation.
Yeah.
It's not the point of this conversation.
No.
Can't go down this rabbit hole again. Not again.
I'm sorry.
I changed
I lashed
it
out.
from I changed it from the title from Would you rather eat cockroach curry or a slice of human meat? And then the thumbnail was just like a bowl of curry with a couple cockroaches in it. Photoshopped in, looked cool. And then it was like either your face or my face. Like I found like a still of one of us being like, oh my God. I was like, yes, perfect YouTube thumbnail. Just exactly what a YouTube thumbnail should look like. And then I got back today and I was like, I'm changing this fucking title. I changed it to the best would you rather you'll ever hear.
That's what you got to do, though.
Yeah. And then I wonder how many comments will get being like, this is definitely not the best would you rather. And then I'll be like, you definitely still listen more than fucking, I have more than 3 views now. That's
Dude,
a fucking
if
plus.
you look at any of the bigger YouTubers out there, their the titles of the videos are like, "Can you believe what he just did?"
Yeah.
Or it's like, "Are you kidding me? They did what?"
Yeah.
And then you watch the 5-minute video and it's like literally nothing happens.
Oh, it's so annoying.
And it's like millions and millions of views.
Like we changed the song name from Tendencies to like, this band has been banned in 4 states.
Done.
She did what?
You won't believe the chorus.
And they said, "What?" It all.
I mean, there's something so obnoxious about having to be your own marketer and all these things. It's like, I wish that there was just a person that I
There's
could pay.
there's like a lack of
separation.
no, just like what's I'm just being genuine. It's
Yeah.
a lot of like, how do I get as many clicks as possible?
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I fake being looking so fucking cool
Yeah.
for the rest of the internet to either love or hate me?
It's just something so weird about like even like doing those write-ups. It's difficult like to write about your band, you
It
know?
is.
It's so weird, yeah.
It's
And,
super
like-
strange.
Like writing your own bio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I don't know, it's hard. It just feels like you're like again jerking yourself off to like talk about yourself like it matters. Like Jimmy Selesky met John and Joe Niehaus, blah blah blah, and started writing songs, blah blah. It's like who cares?
Nobody cares about
Nobody
that.
fucking cares. Why do I have to
Literally
write about
three
it?
gotta be so
hours
much
into a
more nonchalant.
podcast
My-
where
my
we just
favorite-
did that.
My favorite about sections on Spotify are like the 22-year-olds who are just making bullshit in their room and they're just like fucking Asi Camara, fucking love her, great like upcoming R&B artist, and her about is just like, my name is Asi and I love you, smiley face, and it's just like she makes really
Yeah.
good chill lo-fi R&B pop, and it's
Yeah.
amazing, you know. And I
mean-
think that's the vibe. You just got to find out, like, you know, what's that little in a nutshell bullshit joke? It's just like this is
I
who we are.
ended our Spotify pitch, and I didn't know if you guys would be mad about this, but I wrote up about 4 sentences, just kind of sent it in, like
Yeah,
writing
that's
up,
fine.
like very like, because that's all they give. They give you like a certain amount of characters.
Yeah,
So I obviously had to cut out like a billion things. It's like on March 25th, after eating a slice of pepperoni pizza, it's like, okay, this is useless information. So I got down to the nitty gritty, and it just sounded so like just like right uppy. I ended it by saying, "We hope you think we're cool." And that's what I sent in as the last sentence of the
Yeah,
thing to Spotify.
I'm sure it was good.
Because there's a part of me that's like, if you kind of acknowledge that this is bullshit, like, dude, look, you're seeing our Spotify. You see that we have no monthly listeners.
Yeah. We have 91.
The acknowledgement of how ridiculous it is.
100,000. Okay.
Under 1,000. Hey, who knows how many under 1,000 could be, you know? But like, I didn't tell you guys about that because I was like, oh, they're gonna be like, what? You fucking take it seriously. But in a way, that was taking it seriously. But like, kind of the same thing you're talking about. Like, blah blah blah, and we make music. Like, what else do you want us to say? We don't
Yeah.
have anything to say.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just 3 fucking dudes.
It's hard. Because you feel like you're pretending either way, you know, and music and art is just all about just like doing you, being authentic
Yeah.
and shit.
But you know, I haven't heard back from Spotify yet, so apparently they did
They'll
not.
think we're cool.
They didn't think we're cool.
We'll hear back.
We'll have a Spotify live session.
Wouldn't that be a slap in
this
the dick
time next
if
year.
every playlist didn't approve us, but Spotify did? And then Spotify hit up all those playlists and said, "We don't think you're cool
Oh,
because you didn't think this band was
Deleted.
cool."
canceled. Fuck.
And really, just in general, as stuff comes together, you notice how much shit just makes sense that you just didn't do until you do it, and you're like, "Why didn't we do this sooner?" Photos. How do people become fans of a logo? How is it that for 6 years I was making music under a logo and never had the thought, what if we like took some content, like put a face to the music, like did something and put it in front of people that they could actually attach to besides that? You know? I'm pointing to the logo on the wall.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
I get distracted by
that.
Evan Williams.
The Pollard sign?
No, the logo up there.
Oh, yeah. yeah.
Pollard sign. Yeah, that's what Eric is pointing.
I've been worshiping a towing company.
Just like simple things like that. Like even this. I'll probably clip some of these up and put them out on the band Instagram as clips when we're talking about cool shit. You know? That's just fucking content, dude. You know? We need to fucking, when we are at the studio, film that shit. Edit it up. Make it look dope. Make it look like this is something I feel like we should be paying attention to. You know? Because it is all bullshit. It is all bullshit. And one of the hardest things you go through when you're not a bullshitter is marketing, because marketing is mostly bullshit. You have a product, but people don't necessarily care about a good crab cake. They care about the best crab cake. The best crab cake you'll ever taste. You have to go to this restaurant. It'll change your life. That's what they fucking care about.
We have to be the best band of all time ever.
Why the fuck not? We don't have to be. There's been a lot of bands
It's
that were the
fine,
best
we are.
band ever that weren't. You know?
We can be the
Fair enough.
B-Boats.
What's the V-Boats?
B-Boats.
What's
Best
that?
band of all time.
Best band of all time. There's a clip. Did you guys ever see the movie Pick of Destiny?
Yeah.
You know, in that one scene.
Tenacious D movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude,
Nice.
I watched that
Yeah,
last
yeah.
night. Great.
Very
fucking-
good.
Hell yeah.
It's awesome. And first of all, a lot of the music is like good. Like some
It's
of their
so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
yeah, like some of their shit. Like when they get that hook,
It
like,
rocks.
now it's time to run this
Tenacious
fucking
D is
down."
like the
Like,
best band to listen to in like middle school, early high school.
I went on
Yeah,
a
it would've
fucking.
been.
I just had that shit playing in the background while I was making my scrambled eggs.
Tribute is one of like I love that song.
Phenomenal
good
song.
song.
It's
Phenomenal
incredible.
song.
I mean,
For
they
sure.
made
Wonder
the movie
Boy?
about that song, basically.
Yeah.
There's a clip from that movie where Jack Black is having a dream that he got the pick of destiny, and he goes and they're playing on stage at the open mic that they're trying to get into, and in his dream, the open mic host that like shut him down earlier in the movie goes up on stage and he's like, "The band asked me not to read this, but the hell with it, I am gonna read this because I wrote it. This band is the best band ever. Period." Tenacious D. I was thinking that'd be funny just to fucking have that before something of ours. Just something like that, dude. Just something where
That
it's
would
just
be
like
amazing.
it's
Yeah,
just-
we gotta fuck around more. Like honestly, it would be so easy to just leave one of the microphones on and catch a jam, like 15 seconds of a jam over the course of like an hour playing together during practice, and then make a fucking 2-second GIF that looks kind of trippy
GIF.
and whatever. Yeah, and then just throw that up on the story.
Yeah,
once a
yeah,
week,
something
you
like
know?
that.
Something bullshit.
Yeah,
Or
something
just make a
cool.
post, yeah.
And you can't be taking yourself too like I was thinking maybe
Never take yourself.
Acknowledge that the first few won't be good.
Yeah.
And then
I was
You're
thinking maybe we'll post the same thing I did with the SoundCloud thing. We'll wait a little bit, and then maybe we'll post a little collage of all the negative feedback we got. Just something like that.
That's
good.
Just,
That's incredible.
just like post
Exactly.
something like that. Like these are
Exactly.
fucking shit, and just let people fucking go. Like these people don't know what they're. Because that would honestly get people more amped up. I feel like than the
True,
compliments.
true.
You know.
Oh, for sure.
You know, something like that. Just fucking make it fun. You know. That's really all. It takes a long time to figure that out, though.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're an
yeah.
idiot, you know. But
that
Well,
would be
that
my.
makes
I'm
three
doing
of
all
us.
this like fucking
Hey.
stupid artsy bullshit. And just like, no, fuck these people. That is what motivates people. Vendettas.
dun da da dun da da. Oh yeah, man. Well, I guess we can wrap it up
Sure.
if you propose to.
Yeah, we've been going for a while.
Well, let's see. Plugs. You got any plugs, dude?
Fuck no, dude.
No plugs.
I just got my first Pfizer shot. That's
That-
my plug.
Fuck yeah.
yeah. How many shots is 2, right?
Yeah. And my arm fucking still hurts.
Oh damn.
When did you do that?
Just yesterday.
No.
Wait for round
Yeah.
2.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Liz have it?
It sucks.
Huh?
Liz have it?
She got her first one like a week or so ago.
Nice.
She got Moderna.
I
So
got
you guys about to
Moderna.
be fucking vaxxing, relaxing, baby.
I think
Relaxing,
so, yeah.
relaxing.
Hell yeah, dude. That's sweet.
Lack of
You
days.
guys all have your shits done with?
I got number 2 on Tuesday.
Nice.
Same here.
Hell yeah. Coolio.
Uh-huh.
Plug in the vaxes.
Moderna.
Moderna.
Liza boy.
Ooh.
Nice. Pfizer. Pfizer.
Pfizer.
I hate that we live in a reality where it's like, oh, which one did you get? J&J? Oh,
Yeah.
Did you go?
I mean, it's just this, the modern,
Yeah.
what are you, red or blue Pokemon?
Yeah, it's true.
Somebody
Yeah.
said
Oh,
Johnson.
you play
Pokemon
yellow?
Blue.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get, Weedle.
Hell yeah.
I got Pfizer.
Absolutely destroyed.
I can get a Weedle.
Just crush Cerulean Gym with my Beedrill.
Yeah.
Somebody said that the Johnson & Johnson is going to become the droid phone of vaccines.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I can see that. I can see that.
I was like hoping to get that one before all the controversy because I just wanted to get one shot and be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would have been nice.
I mean,
But honestly,
probably still
no, it's
do it.
crazy. I didn't even really feel the needle. I don't know what the fuck they did, but they did it so quick that I didn't even feel the needle.
yeah, me
I
neither.
felt
Crazy.
mine same as any other shot.
I mean, I felt a pinch, but it wasn't like I was gonna die.
Yeah.
I wonder how much the Johnson & Johnson is getting a lot of flack. Like, what is it? Like 6 people had complications out of like
It's
a
like
million.
0.00042%
The
had blood
fucked up thing
clots.
about or at least the thing that I don't understand about the pauses is that compared to a control group, the blood clots are less likely to happen than like not taking a,
Yeah.
shot at all. So
Yeah.
like, why
Yeah.
is it a problem?
Yeah.
I don't know how they determine the causal link, but that's what I don't understand. It's like being afraid of getting struck by lightning or something.
You think it's a little pharma collusion where the two other companies that are competing for the government contract, because that's what it is, a government contract, right? Like,
Right.
they're getting, all these companies are competing for getting paid by the government to administer vaccines to the public, and they maybe put out a bad press against Johnson & Johnson, scared the public, and now they're making more money.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe.
I haven't seen evidence of that, but I wouldn't necessarily be surprised. And either way, those companies are definitely taking advantage of
yeah.
the chaos. So
Yeah, I mean, it was
They feed it in
always like
some
a
sense.
race to whoever gets it
Yeah.
first because they're just gonna get the most money.
If I'm
Right.
sitting here in a garage thinking of that, the guy sitting at the top of his tower
He's
making
actually
$1 billion,
making money. Yeah.
he's thinking of that. They're thinking of that.
Absolutely nuts.
All
Yeah,
right, this isn't a novel idea.
exactly.
But yeah, shouts out to you guys for that. That's dope. Eric Glazer across the
Yeah,
board.
course.
GLESER.
No.
GLASE. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm trying to throw people off the trail. Follow my friend Eric Gleaser. GLE. Plugs for us. We have a big. I would say this is our biggest band date of the year. We had another awesome gig lined up in September. The guy called me up and he was like, "Hey, I talked to you 3 years ago at Anchor Bay," and I was like, "This guy's making this up. I don't know a place called Anchor Bay." I was like mid eating a bagel and I was like, "What'd you say? Where's that? Annapolis?" He's like, "Nope, Essex." I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then he's like, "I got this big band gig," and then I sent him the contract, everything. He agreed to the price and everything. And then 2 days later, after I sent the email, I woke up and he was like, "Hey, turns out my daughter already got a DJ." And that just furthered my fucking hatred of DJs. It's like, God damn it. God damn it. Just taking our jobs, dude.
Yeah. I've never had a good experience with one. They're fine people.
They're fine people,
They're just
but they're not sending their best.
they work contrary to my profession.
Fuck them.
Natural
'em.
rivals.
I got respect for DJs, but just swindle us out of $1,000 gig, dude. Probably because you're gonna walk in there with a laptop and 2 speakers and fucking just play Pandora or not Pandora, Spotify, your fucking
Yeah.
Spotify playlist.
You'll just look at the bride's playlist and play that.
Yeah.
But the table's spinning.
2021 wedding bangers, whatever, dude. That's what we're gonna play. We're gonna play 2002 wedding bangers. That's what people want to fucking hear.
Did you hear back from that playlist yet? Or
That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, we would make that playlist so easily.
We need a song about a terrible relationship for our wedding bangers playlist. But we have a real gig, an uncanceled gig as of yet coming up. If you're listening to this now, it's Friday when we released it. So it'll be tomorrow, Saturday, at the Sagamore Spirit Distillery in Port Covington, Baltimore City, Maryland.
Ooh.
And I don't know if it's a private ticketed event. I don't know. Let's say it's not. And if you show up and they ask you for $10, hey, you're already that far. You're already in Port Cov. You might as well pay the $10. But that is a weather permitting gig. So I don't know. I'm really hoping that it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I'm really hoping it doesn't rain because if I'm being very forthcoming, we need that money in our band fund.
That'd be
We do.
tight.
We're at like 400 right now.
We made the assumption that it would be there.
Yeah, there was something like literally after I found out the studio day was going to be $650. I was like, we went from having money to not having money real fucking quick. So we need this gig. Please don't rain. Please don't rain. Other than that, nothing band wise. I'm playing at Ampersea tonight, 6 and 9, and you voted for it. You said it. Barley's Backyard, Uptown in Towson, Baltimore's best bar. The Baltimore Bar Classic winner, 2021. I will be there from the hot primetime hours of 4 to 7 on Sunday, April 25th. Just after lunch. Just before dinner, baby. Stop in.
Post mimosa.
for fucking Brenner,
Just
baby.
in time for shift change.
I'm gonna have to tip out my bartender mid-set. to Barley's Backyard in Towson, Maryland. Baltimore's best bar and worst music scheduler. No, shouts out to you guys. I'll be seeing a lot of you very soon. You don't know. But yeah, at Sophomore MD. If you don't know how to spell sophomore, consider going back to the 10th grade of high school and relearning it because you should know how to spell sophomore. It's 3 O's. You figure out where they go. And then MD, like the state. Kind of rhymes with Baltimore, Maryland. That's why I like it. Very ringing off the tongue, you know? Still sitting on the at Sophomore handle on Instagram, just waiting on it till they make it available again. Just got to jump on it before that Aussie bitch jumps on it. Fucking.
True.
What's a derogatory term for an Australian? Piker.
I mean, it's bad enough being
Spider
from
monkeys.
Australian.
Spider monkey. Spider monkey.
A dingo.
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 I
Goddamn
like that.
marsupial.
Just
Yeah.
that fucking dingo slut doesn't just know my fucking band's name before I do. So I'm watching the clock on that. Other than that, LFTS podcast across the board, live from the studio. We're on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts. That's your podcast app. We are on YouTube. Consider going to YouTube. You could be one of our first ever views.
Getting early.
Yeah, you can be the first comment on a lot of the
A
videos.
lot of videos. You just got to beat out my mom, who posts on podcast clips saying how depressing they are. I cannot have that be the only comment. So definitely hit us up on there.
Race to the bottom.
And until next week, y'all.
Oh wait, do you guys
Oh,
have
it-
anything to plug, or do you want to say your Instagram handles, or?
It's been fun chilling with you guys. That's all.
Yeah, I had a
Thanks so
good
much for
time.
having me.
If you
Okay.
want to follow me on Instagram, it's Johnny Brisket because my content is just
Fucking
fire.
roast fire.
Yeah.
Joe, you want to?
I'm fucking Niehaus 98, like the body part and
like the
and
home?
I have a private account with like 200 followers of my friends. So I
Yeah.
would probably ignore you, but I would be very flattered anyway.
I was
Importantly,
gonna
we're fucking sophomore, and I hope you come out and see us sometime soon and listen to our new song, which we
Listen
love.
to Tendencies. Comment on YouTube that you like the song and that
Yeah,
you're
go
not
in the
depressed while
comments.
you like it.
Like Jimmy's mom's comment.
Yeah.
yeah.
Pin that as
It'll probably
the top
cheer her up a little
comment.
bit if you liked my mom's comment. Maybe a little bit.
Let Irene know she is loved.
And by the way, shouts out to Joe for making the lyric video. It was a game changer. True
Thank
game
you,
changer.
thank you.
You got
It was
a
so
lot
much
of
fun.
a lot of positive feedback on that. Everybody was
Thanks.
saying the visual was sick.
Hell yeah.
Chorus wasn't there, but the video definitely fucking was, y'all. Until next week.
there.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Take it easy.